We're live. We are live, I believe. Let me get the chat up. What's up? What's up? Happy Mario Day. I got my one
Oh, I
Mario
am a
shirt.
Mario shirt.
Yep, you got
I'm like
Mario on your shirt.
I'm
Technically not a Mario. It's not a Mario shirt though because like you're
it's a
telling your mom.
Nintendo store from is this I forget, I think it's Kyoto. It might be Kyoto or Tokyo. It's one of the other.
It's so funny. I think the chat just took up the whole screen. I watched that you quizzing your mom on Saturday. I was like doing like making breakfast and doing dishes and stuff.
Oh yeah, you never
I
seen
knew
that one
him.
or
I missed it. Obviously, you reminded me
oh,
in
okay.
your more recent video, but
Yeah.
obviously, I knew almost all the answers, and not just because I remember, just because of the dates.
Okay,
But
for
I think
sure.
I
I
only
was gonna
got
say did,
three.
but
There's
that
only three I
yeah,
didn't know. like
yeah,
I
yeah.
got wrong, and I thought that was funny.
That is funny. Well, yeah,
That's
that makes sense. Like, it's a lot of like
because
in
you're like May
2012.
2014.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
there was a game and I forget what the question was. Something she made you do instead or whatever, or you had to
Well, yeah,
go
there's a few of
somewhere,
those where like
or
Super
you
Mario
had to go
3D
to like
World.
dinner or something.
Yeah, yeah. It was like it was November 2013 when I went to dinner, and but I said like, what food do we have? Because it's so unmemorable compared to Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah. What's up, Mr. True? Still, I mean, I was just listening to somebody else talk about like Odyssey and how that they always wanted like to not have to be booted out every time you got a star or something, and kind of didn't take didn't throw any shade at 3D World, but again, it just keeps getting mentioned as if it's just not it's not a true 3D Mario game. Like I guess
Yeah.
technically, if you want to talk about compared to the three Mario games where you could just move the camera at will, and maybe I guess Bowser's Fury falls into that
So
too.
like, in the end of the day, factually, it's a 3D Mario game because it's literally not in 2D.
Yes, it's a
There's nothing
different
to debate
take.
about it.
It's a different
There's just
take compared to the getting the stars, and
yeah,
it wasn't the same formula, but I mean it was the mainline team. It was their next project. It was the
yeah. It was
main
literally
3D.
that team making a 3D action Mario game. A
And
lot of themselves said it.
they blended 2D and 3D like elements as far as like the game, like getting to the flagpole, but it was a
Yeah.
four-player co-op game. What's up,
Yeah.
Lenny? What's up, Jay Biggs? What's up, Donnie? Yeah, happy Mario Day. And
Oh yeah, I don't got any Mario thing here. I just, I just really. Oh well, damn. Shit, I should have
this is the
put.
only Mario thing I have within grasp.
I
My
mean, within grasp, I do got the
actually no, I got
not
three.
not the game, but it is the movie, the Mario movie.
I got one more. The best, without a doubt. I don't
Nice.
know. I'd be curious
I
to
don't.
listen.
That's all the way over there. I don't
I'd be
have.
curious
It's not
to
even close.
listen to like who doesn't think 3D or Super Mario World is the best 2D Mario game. I'd be like curious to see,
Who doesn't?
like just to hear what their reasonings are and stuff.
Well, I mean, I could be one. Honestly, I don't. I don't. That's tough.
Have you
It's
gone back and played them all? Have you played them all like
I
extensively?
played all of them other than Super Mario Land 2. On the Game Boy. Like I've played literally all the 2D Mario games. And actually that was on the Wii U, and I was doing I was before I don't know, but I was doing a whole marathon of all the Mario games, and I just didn't finish Sunshine. It was the one that I did finish.
Just couldn't bring
And
yourself to do it.
yeah, I just couldn't finish it. But
No Mario
one
hate,
day.
no Sunshine hate today on Mario Day. Even though
This is,
Retro's not here, I thought he said he was excited to be here this week. But
but I did
I hear
but I
T.
did but I did I mean Super Mario World is fantastic. It's fantastic, but it's one that I played once and I haven't gone back to, so
I mean, I
compared to
was
the more recent stuff like Wonder and even well, I guess Mario Brothers U I played around that same time. It was within a few year spans or something.
I played
But
through World 1 and 2 and Super Mario World recently. As on Saturday, I was playing some. I was at my parents' house. I was checking out how Super Nintendo and NES looked on my old CRT, but it's in rough shape. The image is all warped. There's
mm,
those things can get out of whack if you get magnets near them, and other things can affect them. But it's just I bought it in '98. It's just been in the basement at my parents' house. Who knows? It might have been dropped. It thing's 100 something pounds. I lifted it by myself about
Dang.
20 feet.
Really?
Yeah, there's no way I was getting up the stairs. But I was like, I need to get it in a
It'd be like
room where
that.
I could use it. It was
Like
heavy.
shaking.
It was heavy.
Yeah, that
um,
sounds super heavy.
anyway, and I ended up hooking the Super Nintendo up to my brother's old rear projection DLP TV because that had AV inputs right in the back or right in the side. And I was like, well, let me just see how Super Mario World looks. And I played for like an hour because I needed to get to a save spot. You got a ghost house and castles, the only way you can save.
Yeah, that is always annoying about
But
that.
I'm like, obviously, I played the game a bunch, but I know there's secret paths. Now, maybe if I got to World 4, 5 or something, maybe my memory wouldn't hold true, but I'm like, finding all the secret exits. I'm like, man, there's all these levels. There's multiple exits. There's so much clever stuff in these games that's we've never seen in a Mario game since. Like, there's a
Yeah.
ghost house where there's just these giant green blobs bouncing around, and um, now of course I'm drawing blank, but there's like springboard things, and those might have been in one of the new Super Mario Brother games, but just like there's so much
I think
unique
that was
stuff.
in, I think that was just Mario Maker with the whole spring, like when they had the
Yeah, maybe
like
it
you're
was
able
Mario
to.
Maker. And I'm just like, there's so much in just it has a unique look. I mean, the
Yeah.
backgrounds, just a ton of stuff that's just so unique to
The
that game.
sound is very unique. The sound is
The sound
very.
effects, the twirling Mario, like to break the, I don't know what those yellow bricks are that you hit them once and they just spin, then you
Yeah.
can jump through them. There's just a lot of unique stuff in that game. The music's great, and it's just, I mean, obviously for me, it's very nostalgic, but it's just hard to think of like a good argument for me for another 2D Mario game to even come close to beating it. What's up, T?
What up? What was this? I
You?
heard some 3D Mario blasphemy.
No, I was just
I don't
saying
know.
People were
that
saying
just
people were
today
talking
I was
shit about
hearing
Mario.
again
Oh, 3D World.
about the 3D World not being like a true 3D Mario game kind of comment. I mean, like I said, it's different than the two that came before. It's definitely, and well, galaxies are different too. So it's like, you know, but compared to
Are you moving side to side to reach a goal?
no,
No, it's a 3D Mario game.
it's
Shut
it's
the
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
up, people.
it's more or
Exactly.
less this isn't the sandbox Mario 64 style. Yeah, it isn't, but it's still a
But yeah,
mainline
like
3D
So
Mario
it's
game
there's
it's
galaxies.
merging of that with the traditional side-scrolling 3D or
with the
2D Mario stuff.
flagpole instead
Yeah.
of stars and shines or whatever the moons. It's just it's a hybrid for
The green
sure,
stars.
but I don't know. It's just weird.
It's literally called Super Mario 3D World.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's Super Mario 2D World.
the first person. Maybe it wasn't the first person, but I know back when it was first shown. Only because I remember him specifically was Levelhead kept saying, "Well, this is just the game they wanted to get out. The real 3D Mario game is going to be like a year or two from now." I just kept saying like, why do you think that? Like this is the 3D Mario game. Like this is the main team. It just always baffled me.
Yeah.
Like
I think just the thing is that some people were probably disappointed because it came right after 3D Land.
Yeah, I think
That's
that
like
Yeah.
if 3D didn't exist, maybe it wouldn't be as big of a
yeah.
issue for
but
some
going
people.
back to
But
3D Land, 3D Land's levels are way shorter. Like it's a way
yeah,
quicker
it's a
experience.
3D, it's a
Handheld.
Nintendo 3DS game. It's a handheld game. So yeah, there's similarities, sure, but it's not it's not a console 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
not.
the first trailer. This is funny. I have the most random like specific memories. Like I remember the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Pokemon Presents. How many years ago was that? Like 7.
Oh, a lot.
I remember
Maybe
exactly where I
9 or
was when I got on
2024.
Twitter after I was watching it. I was out doing deliveries for work. I can tell you exactly where I was. I was sitting in a parking lot at this business and watching it on my phone. And then there's like a McDonald's right there. I pulled in the McDonald's parking lot because I had to get out of the way, and I typed freaking Pokemon milking their fan base with two like not even new games, whatever they're trying to sell as new games, whatever. But I also remember exactly where I was when I saw the 3D World trailer. I was at there's a Fazoli's, which is like a I don't think it's very popular, but it's like an Italian fast food place. I don't know if it's everywhere, but there's been one in my by where I work
Never heard of it.
for years. It's not very great. It's not good, but I was right there watching it in the parking lot. There was a Target. Target moved since then, but there was its main Target, and then out in front in the parking lot was this Fazoli's Italian place, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, I thought even on my phone, I was like, oh yeah, that's way cleaner than 3D Land, but I wasn't like completely wowed at them. But then I just remember reading immediately like, oh, is this a port of 3D Land? I'm like, there's no way that's 3D Land. Like, just that stuff, just from the beginning, the very first day they showed it, that stuff was immediate. So I mean, I guess you can't.
Port of 3D Land. What were you looking at?
You know, it's Luigi's Mansion. Was it the?
Maybe they looking at from their phone too, but it was like a flip phone or something. I don't know. Maybe their phone was out of date at the time. Smartphones were still pretty new at the time, so maybe they had a really old one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what phone I would have had back then. It would have been like, oh, what the hell was that called? I can't think, but it was a very small screen. I remember that. What's up, Trill?
I had an iPhone
4S. I had a 4S.
I had like the company that doesn't make phones anymore. Obviously, there's not that many anymore, but it was like
HTC?
Might have been an HTC. That was a really small one. But either way,
was it the? They had like a real popular one too.
Meow.
I want to say it started with a P.
Either way, I'm just sharing. I don't know if Terrell was here when I started the story, but yeah, 3D World. Basically, we're talking about Mario Day. We're talking about how even today I saw 3D World still getting discredited as not being like a main 3D Mario game, or clock that says it's not a true 3D Mario game. I mean, I guess if Mario.
See, Robert thinks he's better than everybody else. What's that, Robert? What you doing, man?
The best Mario games of all time.
You mean the ones that are missing?
Time Machine and Hotel Mario.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, I don't think Nintendo even did anything social media wise for Mario Day, have they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were sales.
Did they?
And stuff.
There was like a little commercial or something like your Mario experience or something like that, where it was like a bunch of YouTubers or content creators like giving their experiences.
Robert, let me borrow that, man. Let me borrow that.
Are you crazy?
But they definitely don't celebrate it like I think they probably should.
Good. Yeah.
Because it is a cool thing. I don't know how.
How do you think they should celebrate it?
I mean, I would at least some kind of
You still like
YouTube
Pokemon
short video on YouTube. Social media accounts. Happy Mario Day, like you said. Like there's some sales on some Mario games, like stuff like that.
Well, they apparently, I mean, not apparently, they did add some Alarmo for Super Mario Brothers. Added some alarm stuff.
Alarm. Oh yeah.
They also added. I think they added Mario Brothers 3 to the Nintendo Music app too.
The music, So I mean, they did some stuff, and it's not like they're gonna drop a. Realistically, they're not like we're with Pokemon where it's like, all right, we're gonna base trailers around this day. It's like they weren't gonna drop the Mario Kart trailer now.
No, but just put out a tweet say, Happy Mario Day. I think they did in the past.
They might have, but honestly,
this year.
I think Twitter's down right now, like this whole day.
Oh.
So.
It's still down. Let's look.
Well, but it's been like slow or whatever, and so I'm sure maybe they probably like, all right, fuck it.
It's out right.
I don't know. I
now.
shared some awesome like exhibition of like in London of this like this screen, this 360-degree screen, and that posted right away.
Yeah, but even earlier, like it's like
here we go.
Because when I went to one,
Nintendo of Europe, Lego Super Mario Kart. Here we go, launching May 15th.
No, they posted something like 6 hours ago. Happy Mario Day. What does Mario mean to you?
Okay, so they did do at least that.
Where
And
you
it's a
see
bunch.
that?
It's
Oh, there you go. Where does Mario meet you? Oh, and it's a video.
yeah, it's a video
Maybe it's-
of various
I'm
like
telling you,
you
I think it's
social
because
media and streamers talking about Mario.
yeah, but not. They don't have Hotel Mario.
Oh
That should
my
be us,
gosh,
but-
shut
Yeah,
the
I wonder
hell
how
up.
much this
should
Lego
be us.
set's gonna cost.
It's gonna get paid. This is what's gonna happen.
Mario means family? Come on, bro. That doesn't
Mario-
make sense. Mario's a
We
single
mean,
person.
we mean Mario. We mean that
Mario's
makes
not even,
sense.
Mario doesn't even have a family other than
Oh,
Luigi.
that's crazy. Why you going?
Oh, yeah,
disrespectful?
Was he right?
sir?
Didn't they announce? Did they do the cast of the Mario movie? Was that on Mario Day?
I thought they were maybe gonna do that today, but
Maybe.
No, I mean, didn't they do that? Did they do that for the
they
Mario
did.
movie?
They did. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
But that's why I thought maybe they would do it because it's next year. It comes out in April.
shit.
The sequel. So Mario means friendship. Would you agree? I would not agree.
No.
What-
I
who's
don't
he
know about
friends?
that. Nah, I
Mario's
don't agree with
timeless.
that.
Timeless, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thomas is a
Friendship
that's
is
And
like-
Mario means family? No. Mario
Not-
joy?
What about
Alright,
his
sure.
brother? You don't think his brother's part of his family, man?
Euphoric. Don't say euphoric. That sounds.
It
a
can
little
end
bit
friendships playing
I
Mario
thought you said,
Kart.
if you had said historic, I would have probably more agreed.
historic, but euphoric sounds a little bit like, oh, I'm into him. Like, so,
I've seen you look at him with his shirt off. Don't act like you don't know.
oh yeah, true. But and also adventure. I agree with that. I mean,
I agree with
adventure,
that one.
Fun.
Yeah, they even showed off some some Mario merch you can get through the platinum points on thing.
Okay, so I just
They
missed
did
that.
some stuff.
Juice,
Yeah,
I
the
feel like
music.
I feel like Juice made that statement and then go
How come
check.
they didn't,
No,
they
I'm
didn't,
just-
they didn't advertise
wasn't,
the,
like,
the alarm.
Banking that they didn't. I
Yeah, they
just-
did.
Where?
Look,
Oh,
scroll
11
down.
hours ago. 11 hours ago. Okay.
Scroll down, guys. Jesus.
I don't. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's just my.
We can't make
Twitter's, like,
claims
so-
that Nintendo's not doing anything for Mario Day without actually checking. At least
my
check the
Twitter's, like,
Twitter
so
account.
clogged.
I didn't
Again, my
hear
Twitter-
anything about it.
Earlier, the Twitter was not working, so I didn't even see this stuff.
They've been posting all day, technically,
Hmm.
Well,
From-
people were missing
from-
it because they can't
from
see
like
it.
last night all the way up until like a few hours.
Not
ago.
last night. This is
That
only
Mario
this is
Kart
only
Lego looks pretty
the
cool, though.
morning.
No, where is it?
For 7 a.m. 8 a.m.
No,
Yeah.
the music, the
For
Nintendo
Marvel.
music thing was from 22 hours ago.
Yeah, but that was a link to the past.
And even the Mario Day merch is literally the day before. It says March 9th. It's almost
No, but
Mario
it says
Day.
it's almost Mario Day.
Well, the point I'm making is they've been promoting it for like
Okay.
almost over 24
Hey.
hours.
Also,
Jesus.
where are these? Wait, these platinum points? You get platinum points from doing the mobile stuff, right?
No,
Yeah, I don't
you-
have any platinum points. I thought I.
Isn't it just from mobile?
Don't
No,
they
it's
get
not-
rid of-
it's not- no,
When are they
no,
getting
no,
rid of those?
no, not yet.
I
I
think
they
you.
get rid of gold.
I thought
points.
initially, I thought back in the day, you had to go on and answer like quizzes or questionnaires or stuff to get the.
Oh, yeah,
platinum
back in the
points.
day.
You could.
I
but
thought that
they
was.
don't
I
do
thought
that
it was
anymore.
playing like Mitomo. I know that, but to be
No, that used to be it. No, you're right.
true.
That they used to be that. But I think
Honestly,
you
though,
could-
these don't look too bad. I mean, what is it? We got like.
I mean,
a
you
little
can just go to the Nintendo store and get half of this shit.
No, but like I wouldn't get like this is
What, for
something I
free,
would
though?
buy. Like it's a
No,
clear
not
bag.
for free though. Come on now.
bag.
We don't
Free.
in this economy. How dare you?
In any economy,
I'm
when
not
Nintendo
buying
gives us something
goddamn.
free.
I'm not buying stickers. Come on.
Let's just. Let me ask you guys, like, what is everyone's favorite Mario game? Like, not
Man,
just
come on.
not a platform, but just a game, like a Mario game. Like, obviously, the Mario Karts, the Mario mainlines.
That's really hard, bro. That's a hard one for you.
Mm,
Hold on. I know Mohammed's always trolling the
Pick your
chat, but
favorite finger.
This guy said they
Yeah.
could have at least thrown a Mario 3D Collection 2. But if they did that, he would be in the comment section saying more old stuff.
lazy effort.
Come on, man. You know there's a lie. You don't want
So
that.
I think honestly, my two favorite Mario games both have "World" in the title. So I'm gonna say Super Mario World and Super
We're
Mario.
talking about Muhammad
3D
Yeah,
World.
Muhammad
Man,
been trolling
come
since
on now.
2017, man.
Muhammad acting like risky, man. This is crazy.
Mahoo.
damn.
Muhammad's acting
Yeah,
like risky.
it's hard enough to pick your favorite 3D Mario, but you talking about Mario game, any game with Mario in it?
Mhm.
Like you trying to come on now?
Any-
Mine's
we're-
easier.
We're
I
including,
just-
we're including Mario Kart and stuff like that. That's
I'd say
crazy.
Mario Kart 8 probably be third place. Like,
Really?
Man, we talking about there's Paper Mario's, there's Mario RPGs.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
Listen,
No way.
listen. And that
I
kind
don't
of
even know if Mario. In that instance, I don't even know if Mario Kart would make my top 10.
Right, right.
I bet you
Oh,
Terrell
yeah.
has a.
Wow.
I bet it wouldn't be that
That's
hard.
wild.
Terrell, I don't think it'd be hard for you to
Not
have a
for me.
favorite Mario game.
Like
It might
any
be
Mario.
wild, but
You're
you-
saying any Mario Kart wouldn't make your top 10?
No.
Mario 8 specifically.
Oh, specifically
Mario Kart
Mario
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
that's great. Absolute Mario
Alright.
Kart 8 over every other Mario Kart for me. So definitely.
Yeah, recency bias.
No.
No.
Recency, it's been a decade.
Recency bias. If it's been like
Wow.
8 years, it feels
No,
like.
it's been
10,
11. It's been 11 years now.
almost 11.
Regular or deluxe?
Damn, I can't count. Mind you, G, chill out.
There ain't no recency.
Chill out.
I mean,
It's been almost
none
a
of the other
decade.
Mario's that's not fair. It's like, how can any other Mario Kart compete? Because this shit got all kind of shit in it. Like, it's
Some
not,
people still like Double Dash, right?
that ain't fair. Yeah, but like it got double dash tracks in it, and you can play all this other shit at the same time. So
Hey, man, some
It
people
was-
I
like.
don't know.
It was my
It's
favorite
greatest.
within like a
It's
day,
greatest.
but
And double dash is like, come on, it's the hipster pick.
That game
Come
made
on,
you
let's
make a
go.
whole podcast, man. That's
Look,
great.
after that, I'm gonna say Mario Kart Wii.
I played Double Dash once and I didn't need to play it again. I'll just say it. I'll leave
That's
it
kind
at
of
that.
That's a little
Yeah,
disrespectful.
I'm not. I'm
not even a
huge
Mario
fan
Kart
of
guy, and
it
I
either.
think that's disrespectful.
I'm not a huge fan of it either.
That's my
but
lead.
but I will
Whoa.
say one of my tops up there is Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color. That's top.
It was actually
Now,
Mario
hold
Golf.
on,
It wasn't.
Hold on, but you said up there. That's not your favorite. So what's your favorite?
Oh, that's what
I
we're
couldn't
doing.
tell you because there's a little piece of everything that would make it my favorite. I mean, if you're talking about Mario Golf, it's up there because it's a actual competent RPG golf game.
That's true.
If you're talking about Mario Tennis, it's a competent RPG tennis game. You know, I love Yoshi's Island because I think it has some of the most classic music. And
Is that a Mario game?
It's not Super Mario World.
So it gave me the option to mute
I
Mario.
know what Nintendo called it, but let's.
I mean, in the same sense, I would put Wario Land up there. The
It's
original
technically-
one.
yeah, because then-
All right, now you're getting,
Right,
now
it's
you're
like
getting
a real
reckless.
Mario game. That's
But
Now
that's
you're getting
it's
reckless, man.
that came from the Nintendo. It
If
came
you
from the
put Mario
Land
Land
series,
ahead
so-
of a 2D Mario game, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but no,
you.
you can't. At this
No,
point,
no.
at this
I'm not
point,
saying I
they
put them
even have the
ahead
word
of
Mario
those.
on it.
I'm not putting them ahead of those. I'm just saying they're up there.
Mm.
I don't know. Wario
That sounds
Land
like
3,
a retro
bro.
death situation. My 3 favorite games of all time, and then he lists 10
Yeah,
games.
but Wario
that-
Land 3 at that point is a Warrior game. You could say maybe Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land.
Yeah, that's
But
what I'm
like-
saying. That one
like-
specifically.
You know, once you get out of there, there's no more Mario. It doesn't even say the word Mario, so it's like.
My favorite is
How do you
Super
compare
Mario
those?
Advance 3 Super Mario World.
What the fuck was that?
Thank you, Game Boy Advance, for that bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably on par with the DS version of Mario 64.
Actually, never played it.
Which one?
But
What's on par?
it's on par with Mario 64, the DS version.
What's on par? The Advanced 3?
Yeah, if you haven't played it, it's a terrible game. It's not. It's not.
I've
Oh,
never-
it's not a terrible game.
I've
Oh,
never-
terrible. What?
I think it
It's not
is.
terrible.
I've never
What?
tried. Honestly, I've never tried playing it.
It's
on the
literally.
DS.
You've never
great.
played the DS version,
Mario
Super Mario 64 DS?
Mm-mm.
It's not.
It's got some cool additions, but I wasn't gonna try to play it with the touchscreen thing.
It's like
Mhm.
an
You can
upgrade and
do that.
everything, except for like graphics and controls.
And on Wii U, you
But
can
it
play with
has
the
so
analog
much.
stick.
Huh?
On the Wii
Don't-
U, you can play with the analog stick.
No.
Can-
That's not analog control. Don't do that.
Yeah, but come on. It's
Damn.
Yeah, you can use an analog stick and control it, but that's not
Yeah.
analog
Well,
control.
what did the touch
I'm
controls
controlling
do?
the analog stick.
Come
What
on
did-
now. Come on
I know
now.
what
Come
you're
on now.
saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But like, it makes it more comfortable to be.
But what
like
was
that.
the
Sure.
what if they ported the touch screen? The touch screen controls were technically equivalent to analog. If I never tried them, but it was in theory.
That is true. They are kind of like. Yeah.
But that sounded
Yeah.
like
But
a hand
I
cramp
don't think that's
waiting to
good.
happen.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's as far as movement goes, but as far as like feel, like you can't replicate the feel of an analog stick, especially a Mario 64.
Yeah.
With all the little tiny nuances where he slowly kind of.
Yeah. I will say though,
like,
I think I mentioned
you
it
can't
last
replicate
week.
that.
Playing Star Fox, even though it's not analog controls, but the analog stick playing it on the Switch Online feels really a natural. Actually, I was surprised at how quickly it just felt right. But that's for some reason I just a stick to like move a ship up and down, like pressing down on a stick versus on a D-pad. It, to me now just feels way more natural. But anyway, Terrell, I know you don't have the biggest catalog of like Mario games, but you've played a good amount at this point.
I'm sure over the time you played a ton. If you really think about it, there's so many.
I wouldn't know about a ton.
For sure.
A ton. What's considered a ton?
I would say like
Smash Bros.
20 plus.
15
Smash Bros.
plus.
Melee.
15 to 20 plus.
Underrated.
That's a wild statement.
You don't think
Is
so?
Smash a Mario
I
game?
bet you if you count it. No, it's not.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's
funny.
15 to 20.
If you count it, you don't think so?
One thing to
I'm
play,
trying to
it's
think.
one thing to actually like play enough to maybe.
Oh, I
have
mean,
a
we're talking
good
about playing
opinion.
enough. Then where am I going back from? I guess I don't know. Let's say Wii U
From
era
the beginning
stuff.
of time, man, since Mario Brothers.
You had a 64,
that's-
didn't you?
Yeah, I played it. I didn't own it, but I played it. I played a decent bit of it. But once again, I didn't have money, so we were renting. And,
Why not Donkey Kong?
What?
Well, because technically that is
The original Donkey Kong, man. Mario in that, dude. You know, Donkey Kong is
I
in
hate
the
it.
Mario world.
I hate that you did this to me.
I mean,
T.
Donkey Kong is the villain.
You were supposed to be
The
better,
main-
dog.
I
What the
call it
fuck?
safe.
Oh, man.
I call it safe. But then again.
No, I'm not calling nothing on that, bro. What the
but
fuck?
then again, Mario is also a referee in Punch Out, so I don't know if we can.
Well, no, you don't
Nah,
even
that's
play
a
that.
that's
You don't play
that's
the
a
referee.
reach. That's
Nah,
kind of a
that's true.
Technically, I would say it has to have Mario in the title somewhere.
yeah.
I would
that's
say,
like
yeah,
that.
Mario.
That's a Mario
All right.
title. Are you talking about? Are you asking like my favorite Mario game?
Mario is missing.
I'm gonna guess. Can I guess it's one of the Mario and Luigi? Well, I don't know how many you.
That one. I mean,
Ah.
that's definitely top three. Like I think for me personally, if I'm and I'm playing Brothership, I feel like that's not fair.
Bowser's
I
Inside
won't
Story.
include Brothership
Bowser's
because
Inside Story.
Bowser. Okay, so here's the thing. I think like as an overall experience, Bowser's Inside Fury. Wow, I said that. I can count like two games.
Bowser's Inside Fury. I love it.
Wait.
Inside
Bowser's
Ooh,
Inside
emergent shit.
Story. Bowser's Inside Story. I think objectively is considered the best one, but I'd be lying if I said I don't have a bias for the first game a lot. Superstar Saga. That's probably my
Superstar Saga is.
Superstar Saga was
fantastic.
such an experience for me. And I remember that kid, and that final boss can go eat a dick. But God, I love that game.
Did they remake that one?
Yeah, they did on the 3DS.
Oh, okay.
They remade that one in Inside Story, Bowser's Inside Story. So both of those have remakes on 3DS. But they didn't touch Partners in Time because, the disrespect was crazy. I probably would put Superstar Saga up there. I probably would put 3D World up there. Ooh.
Odyssey.
Partners in
3D
Time
World
has
is
the
up
best.
there.
I like 3D World a
Look.
lot. I need you to understand. 3D World was the first mainline Mario game I finished.
3D World is up there.
Not the one I played, but it was the first one I finished.
Did you ever get to play through Galaxy or not really?
Not really.
Mm.
I told myself if they ever, I probably play it on the collect. I plan to go
Well, I
through
know
every
on
game in the
3D All-Stars
collection.
You were playing Sunshine.
Damn, Jay Biggs is
Yeah,
listing
I
his
did-
entire.
He
Like,
listened his entire listing.
Wonder at 7, and also Retro Death. I have a message here. Oh shit! I fucking forgot. I gotta get used to U.S. time zones.
I
Thought it
figured
was
it's
Sunday.
not-
Cooking dinner, can't get on. He even got his laptop
This man
laptop
here,
working
you ain't
and
got
everything.
No excuse.
I'm setting my alarm for next week, dude. He was all excited to come on and talk Switch 2 and all that. But anyway,
You got no excuse that you on this side of the pond.
I mean,
now.
like,
I was
you know,
looking forward to hearing his impressions of Astro's Playroom,
He's
and,
lying when
yeah,
he was
the,
looking for
Ratchet and
Mario
Clank.
When he was
the,
looking
the
forward
time
to.
jump happened yesterday. You should be ready to go
He's
today.
been here. He's been here a month. I don't want to hear nothing about him not
Right.
being used to the time.
We're
That
not
is
accepting
good.
that excuse.
You guys been in like a month. That is true.
Yeah,
I made it to work on time and not on Sunday and didn't even know that the time changed.
I had
So
no
I don't
idea
need
till
no
I got.
excuse.
I woke up and my phone told me, and my clock on my stove was different.
I was in my bed when I was like, shit, that's right.
I completely forgot.
Oh
and
no, I
still
was
made it to
awake.
work
I just
on
lost
time.
the hour in real time. That's what happened to me. I was up.
Me too.
It just
It went
jumped.
from it went from what? It went from like 1:59 to 3 o'clock.
Yeah, there was no 2 o'clock.
And
There
I
was no
looked,
such
at,
thing as
I
a
went,
2
I
o'clock.
looked and I went, damn, I just lost an hour. Went to sleep. Fuck, I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
I woke up at 6:45. I'm like, what the hell? There's no way it's 6:45. There's no way. My body's saying no, it isn't 6:45, and it was 5:45. So it's like it's crazy how I knew immediately when I checked my phone. It's like there's no way.
No, I realized it
I had-
when I crashed in the middle of the day the next day. I was like,
I had on my trusty Apple Watch when I went to sleep.
oh,
And
put
I went to
that,
bed at like
did Steve Jobs
1:30?
steal your soul as well?
I'm just glad that my truck automatically changes instead of I had a vehicle before. It took I don't know if it was the one before or the one previous to that, and I was like, I have no
No,
idea
they
how to change it.
changed.
Every time I got to change the clock, I got to try to remember how the hell to do it. It's like it was like a really unintuitive way. I might have been my Subaru, but anyway.
Oh yeah, they can be a pain changing the clocks in the older vehicles.
Yeah.
Sandstorm. I know you said you had some off. Robert, where do you can you give us like 3 maybe potential tops instead of like a
I mean, realistically,
give you
but it's
3.
Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, and probably Odyssey. Like, if I'm just being completely like.
See, I used to have
realistic.
Galaxy 1 and 2 up there, but then I replayed them on the Wii U, what, 5 years ago? I mean, they're still
I
great,
played
but
it. I legitimately play it every year, so it's like both of those. I love them.
Well-
I have no flaws with them at all.
That was going to be my criteria. It's like, oh, okay, all right, what Mario game would I just legit just play every year, can go back to no problem all the time. But there's a couple of games, so that's
3D
that
World's
would be
that
Mario
game for me.
64, Mario 64 for
3D
me,
World would be right
and
there, too, but-
Super Mario World. Like, god damn, that game is still so good to play. Like, it's
Yeah, it was,
fantastic.
I will say though, it's tough to not say stuff like the 1,000-Year Door and Mario Kart 8 because it's like, I mean, I put in so many hours now at Mario Kart 8, and Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door is phenomenal.
You 1,000-year door stands be sleeping on the OG. You know
No,
what I'm
no,
saying?
I honestly, it's
I
right
never
up
hear
there, too.
anybody talk about Paper Mario 64.
No,
I always say
look,
1,000-year door, like it doesn't even exist.
I do think. Well, honestly, like I'm a fan of like literally every single Paper Mario game, including Sticker Star, and so it's like for me, it's like it's tough because I actually think in a lot of ways Origami King is actually better than 1,000-Year Door, but I think a lot of people don't want to admit that. But I do think there's a lot of
They'll
things that
never
are
admit
better.
that.
And it's tough because it's like going back and replaying 1,000-Year Door when I was streaming it, there was like more frustrations than I remember.
Did you play
But-
the remake or remaster?
No, I didn't play. This was just a
Remix
GameCube
too?
original, and
Okay.
and when I replayed it again, and there's like some parts like where you have to like it was like it was for one of the bob-ombs, and you have to go around the whole area that you've been to the entire thing. It's hours later, then he's actually just at the same spot that you're at, so you literally wasted your time. Like that was the actual thing, and it was like a joke, and it was like yeah, but that was hours long joke. That's not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
and so like there's stuff like that, but like everything else around is so phenomenal. But at the same time, it's like realistically, I know I would prefer to play a platformer over stuff like that all the time. So I would still have to. My favorite genre is platformer. So realistically, Odyssey, Galaxy 2, like it's up there, and it has to be like the top 3 for me. Like I'd be lying to myself because it's like as much as I love racing and all that, I love jumping and wahooing. So
I would have never guessed your favorite genre is platformer.
yeah.
I would wonder what, because people say that and then they like point to Mario. What are you playing today?
Well, even I mean, shit. Recently, I just played the 3D.
It's not
platform
Mario.
Hell
I'm trying to say.
Hell Pie.
What? Oh, Hell Pie's dope. Yeah. So that's okay.
Great.
I shouldn't be asking you that. I know you know what's going on with it.
Yeah. No, like I try. There's still
Yeah, I
a lot
only
of
play
3D platforms that are
pretty much
fantastic
only I stick to Mario.
they're great.
Yeah. Like,
I tried-
this fraud right here.
I tried branching out, and it's just it's not as good. Most of the games.
I'm telling you though, something like
Some
Hell
are
Pie
probably-
is funny,
You sleeping.
and like you.
Yeah,
you can,
I'm
like,
not
have a
recently
grapple.
probably, but I'm talking about back in the day. Like,
Oh yeah.
For sure.
But,
Especially,
Well,
especially in the GameCube
like,
era, there were so many like wannabes, and they were all
I
not.
mean,
They were all mediocre.
like the SpongeBob's and the.
or
No.
Spyro. Like, I was, the other year I played Spyro. What was it, last year or whatever?
Spyro, the crashes.
And I thought it
Yeah, like
was
if that's
okay.
all you had, you didn't have an N64, then I guess I understand that you thought that those are great platformers, but
I mean,
Yeah,
as
well,
much as
that's
I
right.
shit on Sunshine, it's still like, to me, it's still better than most of the non-Mario
yeah,
3D
easy.
platformers I've ever
For
played.
sure.
And as much, like, it does hurt me a little bit because Galaxy 1 and 2 were my top Mario games for forever. And
Yeah.
it was after Switch, obviously. Switch came out, played Odyssey, and I went back and I was like, I'm finally going to beat all the levels in Galaxy 2. And I think I had one level left in Galaxy 1, maybe not. And I was playing them and I'm like, man. Of course, I'm at the end playing all the hard, challenging purple coins levels. So that kind of wasn't the best sample size. And then I'm getting the green stars in Galaxy 2. That's why I had to
love
finish
that.
the last purple coin one in Galaxy 1, and then I did all the yellow stars. And there's a couple where it was just like you had to send Yoshi flying off of something that I don't know what you were supposed to do, but I had to like do this ridiculous stuff to get it, and it actually made
Well,
me
they
stop.
really test you like on
But some
how you
aren't.
could
Some are
remove
just
the
pretty
run.
standard, so it's just a weird mix.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
long story short, Odyssey jumped ahead of Galaxy 1 and 2 after I went back and played Galaxy 1 and 2, but I didn't start from the beginning. I just
Yeah.
played the really hard, challenging extra stuff. So it's like it's not really probably wasn't a fair.
Oh, like you didn't. Yeah,
I didn't start
the
over
game.
playthrough.
Yeah.
I was literally just played the hardest level in Galaxy 1 to finally beat it, and then all the green star challenges in
Yeah, I
Galaxy
mean
2.
the Galaxy
Number
2
one.
were really.
What's your 3D Mario
3D
game?
World's my number one.
3D World? That's what I
Mhm.
thought.
And that's tough because, man, 3D World is one where literally I went back and replayed it maybe 2 years ago or whatever, and I 100%ed it again, and it's such a phenomenal game, like I will go
Polish.
play with every single character 5 times. And dude, like, I love that shit.
Some
Like,
of
it's
those
so good.
levels are just really fun. The music, it's great.
Mhm.
Music,
Mhm.
it's
I would say
phenomenal.
Galaxy-
It's bouncing in my head right now. Oh my
Well,
god,
honestly,
it's so good.
3D World. If you're telling me, well, what game would you rather 100%? It's not even a question. It's 3D World over Odyssey.
Odyssey's
like,
main stuff, my
It's
second playthrough, I absolutely loved it. But
They don't
Mhm.
want you to They don't want you to 100%.
but when I was
Yeah,
like,
I don't think they want you. Yeah,
I started doing all the
yeah.
extra stuff again, and I was like, I don't, I just had so much fun doing the main stuff, and I already on my first playthrough, I got as close as you can get to Hunter. I didn't get all the outfits because there's a bunch of coin farming you need to do for the last few.
I did that because I needed to. I had to do
That-
That's a question. What's your favorite to the 100%? What's your favorite 100% Mario experience?
It's
I
either
think 64 or
Mm.
Oh,
I
I
would
don't
say
know.
3D World.
That's
Maybe,
what I
in
thought,
that
but I
case.
I
thought
want to
more.
say it's 3D World.
3D World's hard
Yeah.
to 100% though. That damn Champions
Well, it
Road.
ain't easy, but
Yeah.
But it's so
It's
fun. Like,
fun,
just
though.
go through
It's
that.
fun.
But like,
And you
But
gotta
Super Mario World is probably up there for me. Too.
3D
I
World.
was
Or
gonna
not-
say
If I didn't have
that's probably mine, Mario 3D or Super Mario World.
I haven't 100%ed Mario World in a long time. I don't have my original save file because my
What
cousin
do they call it? The
deleted it.
Star War? What is it
Star
called?
World, yeah.
Special. I think it's Star. One of them it's special. One of them it's Star. But
I think that's just
Yeah.
what we called it
There-
as kids back in the day. Star World.
Yeah.
But oh man,
Have you been to
that
Star
was like
World?
mind blowing when I was.
I will say though, this
No,
is
it's
probably this might surprise some people. The most rewarding 100% for me, like I was obviously 3D World once I beat Champions Road, but it felt a little like I wasn't gonna replay every level 5 times, so I just had all my Wii remotes right there. I'd get to
I
the
know you did.
flagpole, I'd activate the controllers, and then I would
Yeah.
because that's tedious. But the most enjoyable, most rewarding was actually Super Mario, New Super Mario Brothers U, beating the special, the star, their
I
version of
forgot about
that
you.
game's version of the Star Road. There was a spike one.
Yeah.
Getting the 3, what was it in the 3 collectible coins, whatever they were called, star coins
they're
maybe.
Just gold coins, some of the star coins. Some of
I think they're star coins. Getting the 3 and the one with like the spikes things that and my brother was in from Colorado and he like showed up literally as I was finishing it and I was like that's one of the like my greatest gaming accomplishments ever was beating that level with the 3-star coins. Like it was ridiculous. And then obviously 3D World. New Year's Eve.
Has any of us gone through the entirety of Super Mario Brothers 3? I'm specifically talking about World 8. Has anybody played and beat every level in World 8?
I
don't
feel
know.
like I
never
did.
I've never done that shit. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't think so.
I was
either.
crying. That game had me crying.
Let me look.
Literally.
Well,
Wasn't there like a couple optional paths you could take on some of those? I think that world there was.
I don't think it's optional. I mean, obviously you can use the flute and.
Is that the one with
Is it the
where it was
flute?
dark?
Yeah, everything's dark. You go on that dark ass
Yep,
road.
I'm pretty sure it did
Those
that.
levels are super long and hard as hell. And
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, like with I played on a virtual console, so when I finished a level, I saved. You know what I mean?
so yeah, that would not count.
But I don't know if I actually, it's been so many years. I don't know if I
Oh,
was.
You can
yeah.
use the little cloud. I would utilize like the little cloud skip. The little cloud. What do
I
you call
don't
it?
recognize this unless this is lit up so you can see it for the Wikipedia.
I don't know what the item is called, but it looks like a little cloud, and you can use it to skip over
Yeah,
a level.
yeah.
And I
don't
got
remember.
expert at collecting them and timing it and knowing which levels I needed to
I
skip
can't say
to get to Bowser.
for sure, but I feel like I did because I owned the game back then, but it's so long
Um,
ago. I can't say for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure I never did. I'm pretty sure. Now I've played.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't want to
yeah.
say. I wouldn't even say I've played every. I played every level and every world and every level of that game up until 8. But I know I've skipped to get to the castle to get to Bowser because some of them.
Yeah, maybe I was.
I call
maybe
them like
did.
tank levels, where
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
looking at. There was tank
the
levels.
slow scrolling. Oh, those.
I do
bitches
remember
will
doing tank
make
levels,
you-
but
It'll make you slap your mama. He's so upset.
Well, that's what I like with when I played the Lost Levels. I went through each level, but I saved after every level as if it was a modern game.
I
Like,
tried.
I'm not gonna go game over and start from get the hell out of here. I'm just gonna play the game.
I
as-
tried the
as
Lost
if-
levels a couple years
You were
ago.
Obi-Wan in it, huh? Obi-Wan in that shit.
No, no, no.
Oh wow!
It was.
Wasn't
I was
bad.
saving it after the level.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I played one level and I was like, yeah, I don't want to play a whole game of this.
Yeah. I think I would utilize at least 2, because I had a pattern when I played Mario 3, and I knew where to get that because those were kind of scarce. The little cloud skips is what I call them.
The
Items.
P-Wings you talking about?
No, not the P-Wings. I would utilize P-Wings too to fly
Oh,
over
you could just
those
skip
tank
the level.
levels.
Yeah, you could just skip the level
Yeah.
completely.
There's
Yeah.
ones that you can actually just skip and go over the level,
Mhm.
but you have to beat the next level because if you die, it'll push you back
Yep.
behind it.
Mm.
I specifically remember that.
I-
So it's all strategy.
One thing I didn't remember about Super Mario Brothers 3 until I was just playing it on the Virtual Console, not the Virtual Switch Online like a week ago. Those levels are really short, especially the early ones. They're like really short. Like I just didn't remember that. I mean, yeah, it's the NES, but
Oh yeah, there's
I was like,
it's
holy
super
crap,
short.
this is the end already. Like most levels, like this is the end already. Like 3D World or Super Mario World's levels were significantly longer.
Yeah.
But it could have just been the NES memory limitation, something, because that going from Super Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers 3, obviously they had 2 in between, but that was a huge jump for
Visually, like everything is like a jump.
just
Just
massive.
the way the game
Oh
works.
yeah,
The
from
whole
1 to 2
world,
to 3. Oh,
selecting-
yeah.
Overworld
the-
and like there's a story that you can follow. The little kings and stuff you got to save every world, and there's a lot going on in that game.
I know this isn't Mario related, but another like game that was a huge jump was Tecmo Super Bowl over the original Tecmo Bowl. Like that's a full on season simulator with it blows my mind what that game. I opened the car, obviously has a little battery in it, and
I feel like not to go all the way off, but I feel like the NES had some of the biggest jumps in graphical prowess
from
like
early
within itself.
From
Yeah.
early NES to like 90, 91 NES. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like the Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo was a pretty significant Like, yeah,
Oh
they were
my
technically,
gosh.
it was pre-rendered
It's
stuff,
kind of a
but
cheat. It's kind of a cheat because
but
of
like
the extra hardware.
Yoshi's Island looks significantly better than Super Mario World.
Phenomenal.
Like, as far as
Yeah.
just graphically, there's
Yeah.
big jumps there.
Don't you miss those? Don't you miss those in generational jumps
Yeah.
on video game systems?
When systems were wonky, the hardware was wonky. You had to figure it out instead
Yeah.
of it just being straightforward for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Just you brute force and everything.
Yeah.
You actually had to like figure out how to make things work and
Was there
good
one on
stuff.
GameCube? Because the GameCube came out of the gate strong with Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, you
and
couldn't mess with Rogue
Luigi's
Squadron
Mansion.
and Luigi's
I think
like
I think that time kind of ended that like
that was the
huge-
turn, right?
Yeah. Because
But
you
I don't
think
know because I think about early 360 and late 360 was
Yeah.
pretty big of a jump too.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
So-
like Rise of the Tomb Raiders on the 360. Like, this blows my mind still. Like, that's a
I just
huge
think I
game.
think that's a testament to how good, well programmed the GameCube was. That
Mhm.
Mhm.
you could pull off those graphics for launch. But Factor 5 was on a different level, obviously.
I do remember being a little underwhelmed with some of the jumps from Super to or from N64 to GameCube though. Like, yeah, Wave Race was definitely graphically better,
Mhm.
but no, the water didn't impress me as much. It wasn't that like, oh my god, this water looks so realistic and stuff. And
Really, I thought the war was fine. What hurt me was the controls.
yeah,
It didn't control as good as the N64. And I think that's what affected that game. Because I always wondered, like, why, there was something off with that game.
I
for some
think the
reason.
little
It was-
notches
it
in
was
the
the controls.
GameCube controller, and I'm going back, I'm like, man, these I thought these were amazing, but now going back, I kind of feel like it was a hindrance in some games having the little
Yeah.
slots notches for your 8 directions on the analog stick, and it
Maybe that's
obviously
what it was.
the travel on it was different.
Yeah.
And then the C stick was pretty trash, but they didn't really use that too much for analog, controls.
No.
But yeah, it's just that is an interesting because the Wii U, yeah, I mean, New Super Mario Brothers U compared to like Splatoon and Smash 4 and all that was, what Super Mario Brothers U definitely could have been more than what it was visually. Like, I feel like they just had to get a game out at launch, and
Well, I mean, you think of like,
Yeah,
obviously the
Nintendo
Switch is
Land
more
looked amazing.
powerful, but you think of like how Wonder looks. I would think Wii U couldn't quite get Wonder, but I think it would get a lot closer than Mario U got. Like
that's true.
Well, also, I mean, thinking like Nintendo Land looks really
does look
good.
really
and
good.
that was day one.
oh my gosh, it does.
Great looking game.
Pikmin 3 was at 2013, so they.
Woo.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say there was like at the end. It wasn't like, oh my god, look at where we've
Well,
gone.
No,
I think that was more of the reason, the fact that not a lot of there were not a lot of support on the system to utilize to see a jump, other
But
than what
even then,
Nintendo
like,
was
I
doing.
still think that like Color Splash looks like just as good as Tearaway, and it's like literally a generational difference.
Wow, really?
Mhm.
I haven't played Color Splash in a while, but yeah.
And Terraria
think
was a
of- well-
port of a PS Vita game, so it wasn't like
Yeah, it was more of a remake. I mean, they went in and made it really good
Did
looking.
they?
I mean, and also, I mean, to be fair, just like if you just look at like Color Splash to Origami King, like it's not like a night and day difference. I feel,
Yeah.
so it's like, I always found it really impressive that art style specifically what they
What
were
about
able to do.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and to Xenoblade Chronicles 3? I mean, just
I don't know.
say what you
It was
will.
a pretty good jump there.
Just looking at the environments themselves, I feel like that was a pretty big jump. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that runs that well on the Switch.
I mean, look, I always say Xenoblade X on a Wii U is like the big holy shit. It still looks like it's
Yeah.
good.
I told you
Yeah.
guys, was it last week? I think I told you about somebody was trying to, was it Nintendo Life? Yeah, they did the video and they're like, yeah, the narrative around this game when it came out was like, that's so blurry, it's 720p, we need this on a more powerful
No
system.
one was saying
No
that.
one said that.
Yeah, I was like, what?
No, I stopped.
What are you
I
talking
listened.
about?
I stopped the video right there. I stopped listening. I'm not gonna listen to any more of this nonsense. Like, that's just
He's making stuff up.
it's so stupid. Everyone was
And
like,
somebody else validated. I mean, this is completely different, but it's a similar thing. Somebody could validate it because I'm always simple for N64, and some dude was like, I forget, I think it's Mad Little Pixel I watch. He was talking about, I see all these YouTubers today talking shit about the N64 controller and how it's so confusing. Nobody fucking said that back in the day.
Not a single
Nobody did.
person.
Nobody was complaining about that. The only thing people talked about for N64 controller was fucking playing Mario Party and getting the blister in your. That was it. That was the only complaint from the N64.
I will say I
But there's
witnessed.
all these YouTubers today. Oh man, I don't know how to hold it, and
Yeah,
it was so
do you hold
confusing.
it like this?
But I
It
literally
was
witnessed
goofy.
people.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've witnessed multiple people hold the N64 controller wrong. Just naturally, them just grabbing it, me not telling them. They almost everybody
Yeah,
that
I
wasn't
know people who do that.
grabbed it
My
wrong.
thing is, nobody was like complaining. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is such
And
a
it is
confusing
actually
controller.
technically it is playable that way, other than the Z button.
Yeah,
being
you
hard
can
to
play it
hit.
that way.
But yeah, I kept having
you have to really be.
I kept having
You
to.
gotta have a long hand.
I kept having to show like my friends or my nephew, and it's like, no, you the center, just hold it in the center,
You
like.
got orangutan thumbs.
But no one
and
was
shit.
complaining about. Oh my god! I just still remember. I don't remember where I was when I first saw the N64 controller, but it just blew my mind when I first saw it. Like, I was like, holy, like wow, like that's.
Everybody thought it was cool at the time. I mean, even if you didn't end up not liking it, I remember people thinking, man, that looks.
I think they had a full size in one of the magazines, because I used to go to the Myers and just look at the gaming magazines for hours, and because I couldn't buy them because I didn't have money for them, so I just go in there and look at them, and they had like a full scale N64 controller on one of the pages, and I just stared at it. Literally stared at it.
I just think that's a product of the time, is that we were just a way more open to crazy things, because we used to see crazy things all the time trying to get our attention. And so
remember that
seeing
Jaguar
the N64
controller?
wasn't,
I was just about to say the Jaguar controller.
yeah, like that was like, what is this? We saw crazy stuff, especially in the mid '90s. Everybody was trying to out weird each other, and out
And Nintendo had that D-pad patent, so they had to try different things.
Yeah.
Terrell, what about you? You got anything to add to this? Been kind of quiet here.
I'm just enjoying the conversation.
Is retro coming this like now then technically?
He said he's cooking, so I don't know if he's going to show up at all or not.
Because technically now he should be prepared, because it's an hour later, as if he was.
Damn, that's crazy.
He said he thought it was Sunday today, so that's the fault of.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
He said he thought it was Sunday.
That's what happens when you're not you don't have a schedule
void,
like a job or something. When I take a week off, I forget what day it is during the week sometimes.
Yeah, I can actually see that. If you're not, I can see him doing that.
I'm gonna give him a reminder next week, but
I used to do that when I was young. Shit. When I wasn't working and I was just going to school, I forgot what day it was all the time. Usually because I was drinking the night before, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, hey, we don't know. Retro
I know some days I wake up and I'm like, is it Friday today or is it Saturday? And I'm like, oh wait, it's Tuesday. There's been days where I'm just like, is it Friday or Saturday? Then I'm like, shit, it's not either. It's like Tuesday or Wednesday. Sometimes I just wake up and my first thought is like, what day is it?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that's because you're probably the type that wakes up the same time every day.
Not the same time, but close. Like about
5:45.
You ever wake up and you're like, oh god.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
I can tell when I can sleep all the way until like 10, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Get some pets that are that need to eat
never.
in the morning. Then you'll have a schedule.
Listen, I can respect your pet handling. You keep that shit.
You get no choice. They'll just meow in your face, and then as soon as you look at them, they'll run away. So you and keep doing it. My cat does it for an hour straight, every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have the patience.
So,
you want like a lizard? A lizard?
No,
that's not a pet. So I do want to.
Whoa! Are we being disrespectful towards lizards? You think lizards can be pets? What the fuck, man?
Also, if it's not a pet, what is it? I mean,
yeah, what is it? Just a lizard in a box?
Keep in a freaking tank with a warming light
on it.
That's
crazy.
What a horrible life.
That's a long name for a pet.
Yeah,
I mean, it's something you have. I wouldn't say it's not a companion style pet like
Which is something you have to take care of.
That's not true.
Iguana?
People have it on their shoulders
He
all the
said
time.
that's cute.
Hours
An
and-
iguana?
I don't know about iguana. I don't know what they're talking about. I was thinking of whatever my buddy's
Just any-
ex-girlfriend
You said
had.
a lizard.
Any type of lizard. Well,
Yeah,
honestly,
just a
any
lizard in
animal.
general.
If you have an animal with you,
That's a
it is
pet.
really, by definition, your pet.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why we pretend like, oh, if it's a lizard, it's in a pit?
I don't consider a goldfish a pet. I mean, technically, that's probably that's what
Wow,
people
what
call
the
it.
fuck?
Literally, it has to be.
You can't even
But
take it
There's no other
outside.
name for it. There's no other name for it.
Just on
You
some
can't-
like, well,
I can't pet it, so it's not. A
I
pet.
draw the line.
no, we're not doing that.
If it doesn't
No,
recognize
get your
its,
Harvard
its
education ass
if
out
it
of
doesn't
here, dog. We ain't
recognize
doing
its
this.
owner, then it's to me it doesn't count.
That makes zero
You
sense.
take your bachelor degrees and your fancy degrees. Get the hell out of
Anyway.
here with that shit.
I was gonna show something. I
Imagine
picked.
all those people with like a collection of fish and all the things. They're like, I love these guys. These are my pals. And then just like, he's nothing to you.
Imagine you
They
have a
mean nothing
full
to.
aquarium.
He means nothing to them, or the person means nothing to the pet. That's
Imagine
This is
having
sorcery.
a
How
full
did you change your
aquarium
name
and diving
around?
to, and you dive every single day to just swim and hang out with your pets and feed them each one by one. And one just comes in for a nice little kiss, and you're like, "Oh, that's perfect."
When did you
Yeah.
put up 2 of the worst Mario games of all time? When did you do that?
yeah.
Damn.
Robert,
Damn.
I didn't see you
He-
switch your game.
Yeah,
When did you do
he
that?
turned his camera off and came back with those.
Oh, okay.
What you talking about? Oh, you talking about this? Oh,
He's completely lost.
Yeah,
You're talking
you
to me,
confused?
Robert.
He was talking to you, man.
I think you're talking about like on the chat or something. I was like,
He
what
said
about that?
Robert.
Oh, he did. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
T in the
Yeah,
back.
man.
Robert,
Huh?
huh?
Mario, you know,
Who's calling me? Robert, huh?
complete in good condition.
Hotel Mario. My God.
That's an
Uh,
interesting game.
I don't
Banger,
think I have. Yeah, I don't have. I just have the.
I love the
And Mario
AVG
is
episode
missing.
on it.
banger.
I ordered me.
I like how you.
I bought some
default
repo
Banger.
boxes the other day.
I killed my goldfish
Right.
the other day. Banger.
Banger.
Not those. Some
I shot
actual
him, banger.
ones made out of paper.
Straight banger, y'all.
See, I just like these because I like the. I don't like the cardboards or the Percy, but
You on
So,
cardboard, man?
For
I understand. It's because you don't have the nostalgia for it.
I know.
Like,
I
need
just
that
don't.
cardboard.
If I was gonna go with the plastic, I'd get the different orientation. But so I picked up.
yeah, I know. But I like it on the front like that.
it's,
looks
it's nice to
stands out if it's on the
display.
side.
But this is nice too. Nice.
No, it is
display.
nice. It's absolutely nice. But
Put it down. Stop embarrassing me.
So
I
I
can't afford it.
went to this back to the CD exchange,
Mm-mm.
and I was looking for NES games, and they had this sitting here. It's Tecmo Super Bowl. I've never played the Super Nintendo version. This cart is in like mint condition. Couldn't believe it. $15, and the repo box on Etsy was like $7 with the inner part and the dust cover. It's like $7-8.
Sports games are always really. And I was thinking about something completely different.
But
I was thinking about sports games, and then my brain went to, for some reason, NBA Live '95. And I remember when you fouled people in '95. It sounded like the thwomp and shit.
Oh really?
It's so funny. I used to play that game just to foul.
Oh,
You know what's
yeah,
crazy?
yeah.
As a
is there
Oh my
any like?
God.
I think there's. I was about to say, is there any expensive sports games? But I think there's one that comes to mind that is like the most expensive of its platform or something like that. Does that sound familiar? Where it's like, I think it's like
the
a
college. The
yep,
college
yep.
sports
The
game?
college.
Yeah.
There's that college. It's like
Was
a
it
college.
2008 or something? Was the last
That
one
is-
that?
Apparently, because it
EA
got
made.
canceled.
Yeah, it was the last one that EA made before because they lost the license and then all that stuff for
Oh,
college.
yeah.
I wonder what.
Those
'cause-
are all
But
sports
they got
games
it
are pretty-
back. So is that game gonna now go down in price when they start making new college sports games? I wonder.
That's true.
You think they
Well,
will
I mean, that's why
continue?
it's like most. I don't like. I
Yeah,
can't.
they said they were.
Every sports game that I look up, it's always cheap. It's always the cheapest of the system.
Yeah, they're usually really cheap.
So I
'Cause,
watched
like,
a video on some. Oh, it's only $30 for the cart only for the Tecmo Super Bowl 3. I didn't even know existed. I didn't. I feel so stupid. T always gives me crap about playing my N64 wrong or whatever. But when I got Madden 93, I was like, I don't need any other football. I love Tecmo Bowl on the NES. This Tecmo Super Bowl to me is way better game. I don't know.
Is that expensive? Because I
No.
bet games like that
That's-
actually do
because I
become expensive.
the third game was like, talk about a leap in the same generation. Like it's almost like a 3D game, and by the third game, and it's like I didn't even know it existed. Like how did I? You know, I only had access. My friend had a bunch of games. I had my games, and then my other friend had other games. And but I love playing football games. And never played the Tecmo series on the damn Super Nintendo. I just feel like I really missed out. That's why, Robert, I didn't say this.
Probably played it more on Super Nintendo.
Having a new game on my Super Nintendo is like, I played it for 2 hours last night. I'm doing a full season with the Detroit Lions and like a sim. I'm playing it like a sim.
Nice.
Like yeah, the first game's total arcade. This one's way more realistic, way more sim like you can actually block a pass, like fumbles, there's injuries. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
And I want to discover or play some more games that I really didn't have much experience with. I'm not just gonna rebuy the games. Like Mortal Kombat 2 is the only game left that I'm considering buying that I played a ton back in the day. I just don't have it anymore.
My thought process is that you say you're just picking up games that like. I remember you named like 5 games. And like, I mean, that's I was like, I mean, hey, I mean,
Yeah, that slowly changes. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I knew that existed.
Like I've rented a bunch of games, but I never beat Yoshi's Island. I don't think I had it on probably 3-4 day rental. I might have beat it. I might have beat it.
Did you at least get to the Raven level where you fight the Raven?
I
boss?
rented
That
it
one had me.
back then.
That game is phenomenal.
I mean, I
bro.
beat Donkey Kong Country the same night I got it, so it's not like
damn.
And a lot of people say that game's hard.
Beat all those. I still haven't beat all those.
I never finished 2 and 3. I never even played 3.
I never
finished 3.
1, not 2 and 3. So one day I got like halfway in 2.
You got to remember what 3 came out in what 96. It had to be somewhere close. I was like,
Yeah.
I was already into my Saturn and
Might have been 97. Like, it
Might
might
have
have
been.
been because 2 came out within a year and a half, 2 years after the first came out in
it might have been 97.
94. But as long as I don't like the part about retro gaming that always got boring to me was like, oh, here's my 3D world or my Super Mario World. My save. Do I start a new one? Okay, I start a new one. I get through World 1. All right. What else do I got? Oh, Street Fighter. You know, I play it for a little bit, but you're playing the computer. It's it's fun for a while. I've been playing it here and there, and then like turn on the N64. My Ocarina of Time. Do I start Ocarina of Time over? Nah, probably not. I'll just go back to where my last save was, and I play it for a little bit. No, actually having a game I never played before has actually been quite a revelation.
That's the whole point. That's why to me it was like it was always been like if I just went back and for me my thing's the Wii, right? So if I only went back and bought some of the Wii games that I already played, like that's why I have this huge list of games that are either I wasn't old enough, I didn't have the money, it's stuff that literally you didn't think about, and then it's like, oh shit, you write them down, and then you actually have the time to play them. You're like, wow, holy
the biggest
crap.
problem with the Wii U when I turned that back on, not only did I own all the, I would say, the must-haves, I rinsed almost all of those because the Wii U, there was gaps.
Yeah.
You didn't get all the third-party games. I played the crap out of Yoshi's Woolly World. I had like 40 to 50 hours in. I had 60 hours in 3D World. I had 60 hours in Bayonetta 2. Like there ain't much left to go back to in all those games. So my plan is,
Chronicles X.
yeah, I put 180, 200 hours in that, and
240
God, that
in
comes
that
out
bitch.
in 10 days already. And
Yeah,
I
it
wanna
does.
play it again. Is it
Oh,
10
yeah?
days?
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
20th.
Time to go
I
again.
don't have to run
fellas.
out. I don't got to run out and buy it or anything.
No,
I
but
definitely will pick
I
it
don't
up.
know how available it's gonna be. I don't think they're gonna make
Already
a ton of
pre-ordered
them.
it.
I should pre-order it too, just to.
I think they will.
I think there'll
Yeah,
be
I'm
enough,
gonna
but
just
I'm not.
go out.
I wouldn't expect to see it on store shelves in like 3 years or like a lot of.
Yeah,
the
I'm not gonna
games.
wait a year. I'm just talking like
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
a few weeks even.
I'm gonna pick it up, but I'm not gonna start it because a few other things I want to do first. But
I ain't starting that bitch until I started on the Switch 2. That's when I started.
so yeah, for
I'm actually gonna line up both my Wii U's and my Switch with 2 TVs next to each other and play simultaneously.
for what?
Just Look
Just-
at the difference.
Oh, I got you.
You got to do it on the 720p TV though.
So also, I picked up Tecmo Super Bowl, but I also snagged something else, and I'll have to buy some games for it. So I got this. I don't know if Sandstorm, I don't think I shared this.
Yeah, that bitch was pretty
Yeah.
clean. You
This
picked it up
thing-
in store, right?
Yeah. And it's a Japanese. I didn't even look at the bottom. It's a Japanese,
Yeah.
which plays the North American games, but
Well, it's
you need an
Super
adapter.
Famicom, right?
It's Super
That's what it says on
Famicom,
it.
but it's not the PAL version, which I guess I don't know what the differences are.
Is it called Super Famicom in the PAL region?
I think so.
I thought it was. Is it?
I thought it
Super
was.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I
You
could've
might be
sworn it was
right.
Super Nintendo.
I think they called the NES the Famicom, though,
I
didn't
mean,
they?
it looks the same as the Super Famicom, but I thought it was Super.
Maybe
Nintendo.
they did call it, because, yeah, Collected always calls it the SNES. He doesn't call
Yeah.
it the Famicom. So, yeah. $50. It has 2 controllers in really good condition. Like,
Nice.
the buttons are, but I opened it, and there's no rips in the silicone. But look at this cord. The cord's barely longer than my arm.
Yeah. Remember people complaining about the SNES Mini?
Yeah, it's literally
it's like, wait a
Robert's
minute.
distance from his eyes to his TV when he plays. It's like 3 foot, 3.5 foot.
3 feet.
It's like 3.5 foot. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Nice.
I was gonna, because my original controllers, they're still all right, but not quite as nice as this. I was thinking about just switching the board and having the longer cord on the Famicom, because these work on the Super Nintendo. Obviously, there's no reason they wouldn't. But somebody says that the Famicom games are cheaper. I don't know if that's true.
They are. Yeah.
But I figure I might
wow.
as well at least get one. I mean, the light turns on. Just make sure it works.
That's definitely a Famicom problem because I remember my Super Nintendo.
But it
Yeah,
didn't
that's
dis-
not much,
If
Super
you can see it discolored a
Mine's super-
little bit here,
Pretty long.
but I mean, unless they retrobrighted it, which they might
Yeah,
have,
it
but
looks
there's
right.
no. I mean, it looks great. So.
Well, you got to remember
a lot
the
of-
original Famicom. Those controllers were attached, and those
Yeah.
cords were not very long.
It must
So,
sit really
that's
close
like-
in Japan.
yeah,
In well, you know what? That kind of makes they use a very small.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the area small.
But also not only that, but it's a lot of Japanese games, pretty much for every console generation, is cheaper than if you were to buy it like the U.S. stuff. That's just how it is.
I wonder what would be a good
It's
place.
annoying because a $700 game here would be $30 there, and you're like, oh man, I wish I spoke Japanese.
Right.
So I wonder how much, what there is on eBay for
Like literally,
Famicom.
that's why I have a Japanese version copy of Cubivore for the GameCube because Cubivore, as T knows, was $700, some crazy shit.
Wow,
and
Super
it's,
Famicom, sorry, Donkey
I've
Kong
been bought
Country
it for
3,
20.
$10, free shipping. Like I wouldn't think I could navigate the menus if they're not in English. $11 for Super Mario World for the Famicom. Like that's cheap. Super Metroid $32.99. Now that has a little more text involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Game Boy, what is it? Super Game Boy? There must be a different version for that. Oh,
You
Mortal
really
Kombat.
search.
What's T looking for?
I don't know. I think if he pulls out Cubivore, I don't remember him having that game. What the
Cubivore?
fuck? He has that game? Jesus
Street Fighter
Christ.
2's $10. Yeah, these
Or
are
no, he
pretty
doesn't.
cheap.
Okay, I thought he's cool.
I don't know if T can hear me, but they had the CD Exchange had Chrono Trigger, just the cart. They're asking $180 for it, and it wasn't in the
Wow.
best
Yeah.
shape.
I have Chrono Trigger. It was a pretty penny.
But and also today I ordered this like 2 weeks ago. Look at this beautiful color. This is
I was gonna say that's definitely
this one's in this
It's
one.
dirty as fuck, man.
This one was
Oh, my
cheaper, but just from the photos I could tell it was in better shape. The cord's nicer, the D-pad's way nicer. But this is the one I cleaned. So this
Oh, wow.
this one's gonna
Jesus.
look like this in 2 days.
So have you fully inducted yourself into retro gaming? Because I feel like that's where we're at now.
It's
Yeah,
crazy
that's what
because
I-
when I ordered this
He's
controller,
all in, folks.
I was like,
Oh,
I just
you-
want
you-
I want a better controller from the NES.
Listen.
I bought one
He will-
game, and now I'm like, or actually, I got Tecmo Bowl coming, complete in box for $50.
He's gonna show you the way. All right, just let him show you. The
But
way.
now I've kind of
No,
pivoted.
you don't want to come this way. It's too expensive.
I've pivoted. I'm gonna focus more on the Super Nintendo because I just realized that I like the Super Nintendo's better overall. I like it better, and there's
Depending on what you get, they do
But
get
that's-
pretty pricey, but
That's what you said before, right? Like it's just you would rather just stick to one console instead
I
of.
didn't say that before, but I was excited to have an NES, and I got Double Dribble, which I enjoyed. It'd be better with another human opponent other than just play the
You're gonna have to
computer.
guide him. He's
I
gonna
can't
waver.
even. I was trying to find my copy of Koopa War. I can't.
you
find it.
have that?
Oh yeah, boy. What's wrong with you? I
He
got
has everything.
Koopa War for GameCube and N64.
Oh well, you know what?
Uh,
Actually, maybe that's how I learned about Cube. It was probably through you, like on one of the.
Yeah,
You probably
might
was
have
on
been.
your GameCube pickup.
Because it's originally a N64 game,
Mm.
and they, I feel like it came out in Japan. Yeah, it did come out in Japan on the N64, but for North America, they put it on GameCube.
Mm.
So
Yeah, and it's so
Uh,
expensive on there, man.
yeah, not as expensive as this.
Fucking knew it.
What am I looking at?
Look at that bullshit.
Gotcha Force.
Gotcha.
This motherfucker.
How much is that one?
This is
Really?
easily. I don't. Mine's not complete, but complete. This
Yeah.
is like $750 or some shit.
Well, I mean, that's how much. Again, like Cube
I
Force,
didn't
like
pay that. I ain't paying that. But you crazy.
Yeah, I feel like your retirement is behind you, dog. I feel like your literal
Right.
your retirement
It's all
fund is right there.
yeah.
She's gonna
It's all
retire
right
like
here.
she's gonna retire at 52. Talking
All
about.
right, so let's pivot here because we might not be able to come up with enough in this. Maybe we can do more next week, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to try to come up with some bingo items for the Switch 2 Direct. Try to come up with some, likely stuff, because obviously it's pointless to have like completely things you think are like super unlikely on there because you actually want to have bingo. So
No, you gotta have like a Hail Mary on there. The fuck.
you can have one Hail Mary. I don't want it like filled with Hail Marys because I want somebody to
Yeah.
actually get
No,
bingo.
it won't be filled, but I think everyone's allowed one Hail Mary. That's what-
But so the freebie is gonna be Mario Kart trailer. That's your middle square.
Yeah, because you're gonna get it.
So we got to come up with 24 things to put on a bingo card.
We'll put 3D Mario.
I'm listening.
So new 3D
So,
Mario.
This Koopa War thing is making me a little worried.
At this point, you almost name just franchises. Well, you could say
But-
other things like, will Koizumi pop up?
Yeah, stuff
Will
like that.
Koizumi-
But,
know,
but Call of
Maybe
Duty-
not that one, but like something
What
like
Call of Duty?
we'll
Will Call of Duty pop up? Though? That's actually an interesting one.
Sanso's already pushing that
I think you
Microsoft
should put that
Nintendo
on there.
collaboration.
you think Call of Duty for Switch
Yeah.
2?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think it's very likely, but I think that should be one of the things that might be a
That's
part of it.
possible.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's
possible.
possible because of the Microsoft. There's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be a decent amount of Microsoft stuff on there.
Well, why don't we just
So-
Call of Duty we'll say is a separate thing. Call of Duty Switch 2.
Okay. And then just like Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's
Well, there's
pretty
one
obvious,
Microsoft
but
game.
it's like
Well, I mean, I guess it might not be that obvious.
Sea
like,
of
again, if it's a
Thieves.
direct Switch 2, they're not showing Sea of Thieves at the Switch 2.
You don't think so?
Oh,
Like, what
crack.
the fuck
No,
are they doing?
no.
Flight
that's-
Simulator. You got to be somewhat specific. You can't just say Microsoft.
I think it would. If they're gonna show that, it would be either something like
Doom.
We're,
Doom.
You don't think
Doom?
Doom is gonna show?
I think that. Well, if it's a Microsoft thing, it's gonna be either Doom or Halo would be a big one. Halo
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Or
I
I
Forza
think
Horizon.
Doom's it's a guarantee. I mean, will they show it at the direct though? It's
That's
definitely.
what I'm saying. Well, that's the whole idea. Is that
Yeah, it's not,
that-
it's not that it's not gonna show up. It's just.
But
whether or
the
not
game
we'll
comes
do it.
out pretty like in May.
It comes
doesn't
out in May, doesn't it?
So
Yeah,
they
it's
would
May,
show
yeah.
it. I think that's a guarantee, but we'll put it on the list.
You think it's a guarantee?
Yeah,
I do.
Damn, I don't think it's a guarantee, but I think it's a.
I'm not confident. In the
I'd give it a
guarantee
98% likelihood that Doom Dark
see,
Ages is
that's
gonna be
very
at the
That's
high.
direct.
crazy, huh?
Being
It's
on
very
there or
high.
showing up.
Just
on
being on in the direct. Mention whether it's sizzle reel or whatever, it's gonna be shown.
Well, yes. Well, that's why. Like, I could see like Forza Horizon popping up, like in a.
Yeah, they're not gonna
scene
like.
where-
It's not gonna be like pointed out, but it could end up in a sizzle reel.
Yeah.
Well, they could probably have a third-party showcase sizzle reel, and I think you'll have Microsoft games in there. You'll have Forza.
We could just
I
say
think
that
the,
then Microsoft games show up. But what if it showed up? What if something got its own just trailer? Like,
Well, that's why. That's why you can put it
I don't think
as
Doom's gonna
Doom
get
gets
his
its
own
own
trailer.
I
trailer.
think
Doom gets
Halo
its
gets
own
its own trailer before Doom gets his own trailer.
Yeah,
we'll just say
Halo would be-
Doom's gonna be shown in some fashion.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But
Yeah,
not,
but
not a part of the sizzle reel, like as its.
I'm just
own
gonna
little
say
trailer.
Doom and in any fashion, Doom Dark Age is gonna be on.
well,
there.
that's the kind of that's a gimme. It feels like.
Well,
But
that's why
you gotta have
do
some
it tougher.
gimmies. You gotta have you gotta actually have
Yeah,
a
we just said
bingo.
3D
You gotta have a
Mario,
chance of
you
bingo.
Gotta have some, you gotta have some in the middle.
Put new IP on there. I would say new IP.
Yeah,
New
put
IP. That's a
From
good one.
Nintendo?
That's a good one.
From
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nintendo.
from Nintendo. Yeah.
Can we have if we're doing new IP, can we add Arms 2 to that as well?
I don't. Ooh.
That ain't happening. But if you want to put it as
No,
a
don't do
Hail Mary-
that. Don't
Yeah,
do that.
We'll come back to that.
No,
Well,
don't be that guy.
let's see where we're at.
You think it's
Um,
happening this time? No, maybe later on, but not now. Not this one.
I say
Mm.
Monolith's next game will be shown.
I put Monolith
that's
next
going on
game.
there.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna actually pop up.
I hope it's that night.
is.
I hope it's the Knights game.
Animal
I really
Crossing?
hope it's the Knights game.
You think an
see
Animal
Animal
Crossing?
No, I think Animal Crossing is later.
You
in the
could. I mean,
generation.
Animal
That would be
Crossing-
one-
I think it's later, but they
Are we
could
writing
say
these down?
I'm writing them down. That'd be
Oh,
one
no.
spoiled.
How
That'd
about
be,
so far?
huh?
What do we have like solid so far?
We got new 3D Mario, a new Nintendo IP, Monolith's new game, Call of Duty on Switch 2, and Doom Dark Ages. Animal
Did
Crossing. I
somebody say
mean,
new IP, or is that too vague?
what? No,
Did
I just
somebody
said
say new IP.
yeah,
Yeah.
a Nintendo IP, new
Yeah,
Nintendo.
new
Nintendo
Nintendo.
IP.
Yeah, new Nintendo IP specifically.
Well, I think they could maybe.
That's, to me, that's a given. I mean, you gotta have.
Now,
I'm gonna put. I got one built-in voice chat on the system.
Hey.
I think that counts as a
That's a
big
good one.
thing.
That's a good one.
Hey.
well, you could put that as something just to put it on there. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, they're gonna talk about Switch Online, so like something.
I mean, it depends on how generic. I
you
want
want
it
that-
to be more.
You want that to
I
be a
got it.
part-
So,
I
let me-
want the voice
Thank
chat. I want
do you
the
think the voice
to be
chat's
very
going to be
specific.
specifically confirmed, not just something we find out later, like in the direct?
Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I think they're gonna.
Yeah,
yeah.
but see, I think if we're gonna say that, we might as well just put Switch Online.
That makes it a
features,
little
like
bit too
Switch Online
easy
features.
then at that point.
Well,
That's a little too vague.
One thing I was going to say was that the
Yeah, but
Switch.
I think it's gonna be a whole topic.
I think the
it's gonna
Switch
be-
Online is going to be copy
It
paste
better
as
be.
far as the NES, Super NES, all that. Maybe a new system, but I don't think they're not starting over. It's just gonna work the same.
Well, no, they've already confirmed that.
They
They've already
confirmed it.
confirmed that, so there's no point.
Yeah,
in
so I'm
bringing it
saying
up.
the Switch Online, that all the games you have access to, there's going to be there. There's not going to be some.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be some
I
big reinvention of the Switch Online.
No, I get that,
I
but
don't
they
think you
might
get
have like a
GameCube until
Miiverse,
later.
or something like that.
The reason why I'm bringing it
Um,
up is because that's the one app they haven't really touched at all. So
What app?
that stupid voice chat app. So in my mind, I feel that could easily. That's why I said that. I specifically said voice chat. That it would
I
just be
think we
built
should
in on
put
the system.
social media like apps, so like Miiverse. We should put something like
Oh,
that.
you think we're gonna get like a
Oh,
Miiverse?
that's-
Something like that.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
We'll keep it on the.
But these are what we're supposed
Yeah.
to put because
Let's
the
start
bingo
with-
thing is the whole idea.
Yeah,
That's fair.
let's start
That's
up
fair.
with
I'll
some
let-
more.
I don't know. But I saw somebody say, I think it was probably Good Vibes Gaming. They were
What?
discussing Miiverse, and they were saying, "Oh well, we have Twitter."
I
Yeah,
know
I
they were
don't know if
saying
people
that.
really want to use that as the conversation.
What you
they don't
wanna
even
do.
use Twitter
2013
anymore.
too.
You can't even post to
Right.
Twitter anymore.
You can't even post it anymore on Twitter.
Yeah, but they were saying that is a
Also,
better
it's
way.
Nintendo.
No, I know that, which is stupid.
Nintendo already stopped doing it though. Like
They were
Yeah,
basically going
I feel like
around what-
Nintendo's the type that will do their own shit regardless if something else exists.
Yeah,
Like
they
how
were going out of
think about it.
it's not a good promotional tool.
Well,
Miiverse wasn't. You already had Miiverse. If you have Miiverse, that means you're already on Wii U. It wasn't a good way to get games and stuff out there. Now that wasn't the point. The point
That
of it
wasn't
was
the
that
point.
Also, it's not true because you would go on Miiverse to see the screenshots and see what people were talking about it.
no, they're
See what-
saying that if you had Miiverse though, you were already invested
No,
in
I know,
Wii U.
yeah.
Well, first of all, that doesn't mean you were going to get a certain game you saw the people talking about.
Exactly.
hmm
So I don't know, man. People have weird takes when it comes to Wii U and
What about the
N64
price?
specifically.
You think they're gonna reveal the
Well, they're
price?
gonna do price and launch. I mean,
Yeah, I would say-
write that down. That's a gimme. So price
Yeah,
and launch.
right, yeah.
Just write that down.
yeah, if you want to gimme, yeah, that's a gimme.
That's a gimme.
Yeah, I guess it is. We already
If
have
they
the.
don't say the
If they
price
leave
and-
this fucking
they're
show
gonna
and
be
don't
like,
have a price or a launch date, you can kiss my black ass.
Yeah.
They had the Switch price at the end of the January thing at the very end, right?
Yeah,
at the very
no,
beginning.
at the
Yeah, we
beginning.
also got a release date.
Was it?
Yeah.
They gave us the
it
release
was at
date
the
and
very
price point
beginning.
at the beginning.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
early,
I
it was
think
early.
that's
That was
that's
the very
too
first thing they did.
obvious, but
Well, you said you wanted a gimme.
we gotta have.
Needed some gimme. You just put it on there.
That's like 100%, 100%.
And
It's
for
a
the-
gimme. That's the whole point.
You
Well, the
just said it
gimmies-
wasn't. You said,
For
I bet
people
a little
who-
more likely, I guess.
For people who
Oh.
are expecting the Switch to come out, Switch 2 to come out in later in the year, like a lot of consoles do, Nintendo wouldn't be announcing it right now. They would wait for
That's
How
true.
about this?
June,
How about
July.
this?
Yeah.
4K.
Well,
Well,
4K.
they mentioned the word.
Well,
4K.
we mean
Whoa.
mentioned or
Wait, wait,
support?
Wait. Are we talking? Are we
There's a lot of
talking?
exceptions when it comes to 4K. There's
Yeah,
no
are we talking
solid
about
information.
upscaling or native?
No,
what-
just mentioning the
No,
word.
no,
4K.
just mentioning. Just mentioning.
Mentioning
4K.
4K. Oh,
Just
yeah,
Ooh,
mentioning
that's a good
4K.
one because I don't know if they
that's a
would.
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, just mentioning the word 4K.
4K
Yeah.
mentioned or on the screen somewhere.
No, mention it on the screen. It doesn't matter. Either
Yeah,
one.
just in
Either
any
one.
kind of
Verbally mentioned.
Oh, in 4K,
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So if it's just not verbally,
Oh,
just either way.
Verbally
If
or
you
on
put
the
it
on a
4K,
screen
Yeah.
somewhere say 4K.
Yeah.
Oh, if they have
Yeah.
it say
I
Switch
think
2,
if they put it on the
4K,
screen, they're going to be mentioning it. So
All right, so might as well put DLSS. You guys think anyone's gonna mention that? Or
Ooh.
That one's a
I
good
know.
one.
You know what?
Even
Wait,
with
wait, wait,
charging
wait, wait,
That one seems way
wait.
more
Hold
less
on.
likely.
Hold on. I think it gets mentioned by somebody in third party.
all right,
by
it's on
Phil
there.
Spencer.
It's on
Yeah.
there.
It's right. DLSS by Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer appearance. I think that'd be a pretty near the bottom.
I
Of
think you should put
At this point, I would not be surprised by
You
that.
should add it on, and then it'll be like if it happens. 'Cause who would have? To be fair, who would have predicted Todd Howard would appear in the Switch? You know, well, I guess
Exactly.
after Skyrim, to be fair, but you know,
I mean, it's not as crazy as Phil Spencer, but it's still kind of
it
crazy.
would be. Yeah, that is true. It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot
Norman
crazy,
Reedus and Kojima.
What about third party exclusive collaboration?
It's
but
United
like a
Front.
like so, yeah, you should write that because maybe
Like
like
a
Square or something. You never
It's
know.
gonna be
Like a Damon Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Or, a
Or
Octopath
even Mario
Traveler at
Rabbids.
the time,
Or Bandai.
or a Monster Hunter Rise at the time.
Or
you know,
Bayonetta. Too.
Monster Hunter
When
Rise,
that
yeah.
came out.
That was huge.
Bayonetta's kind. I mean, I know it's technically, but it's like
No,
you
when
know,
on the Wii U that was a shock.
The Wii
'Cause
U,
no-
that was a shock. Yeah.
yeah. for
No one
sure.
was like, wait a minute, that game we didn't even get the first game. And then
All right,
they were
let's,
like, oh no, it's a double pack.
And then was like Devil's Third. We getting that too? Oh.
Shut up. Shut up. I knew it. You couldn't help
I'm
yourself.
gonna put Elden
When it
Ring.
first mentioned.
Yes, Elden Ring. Do it.
Why
Whether it's the new
specifically
game or the old
Elden
game.
Ring.
It's the old game.
I think it could be the
I
new
didn't
one
do it
too.
the
Yeah,
old
but
game
it-
and then
but it-
also show the new game.
I'm more
But it could
confident in
be
the old
Elden
one than
Ring
I am the
with
new
There's a
one.
new Elden Ring.
No, it
Yeah,
could be
Yeah.
Elden
it's
Ring with
kinda-
all new DLC.
Main Dawn?
It's a standalone game, but it's like a Fortnite-esque kind of take
a
on.
It's
co-op.
gonna be. It's gonna be a
Co-op
complete
survival game.
edition. Complete edition is gonna be
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, complete edition. That's
gotta-
good, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the way
that's
you
good.
promote it. If you're gonna promote it.
Forza Horizon 5, anyone? Should we...
But that's why I think
Just a
I think
Microsoft-
it's-
If
I
you're
think it's a good
expecting,
thing.
if we're counting,
Maybe.
With Phil Spencer showing up.
If Phil Spencer-
Like,
yeah,
that-
Phil Spencer shows up, that's what he's talking
No,
about.
genuinely,
really,
I
you think you wouldn't be talking about Halo? I feel like Halo would be the reason why you would show
That's
up.
I feel like
I
he
think-
starts off with Forza.
Gears
think-
collection.
But I think that he could pop up and say, "Hey, Nintendo fans, thank you so much," and then he just drops Forza, Doom, Halo, Flight Simulator, all back to back to back. He's like, "We just
We're
want to
bringing
really show
Game Pass to the
And-
Nintendo
and-
Switch 2.
Ooh.
he says,
Oh,
like-
I think that's more of a I think that's more of a
Oh my
crazy
God.
statement than anything. Yeah.
says Call of Duty, and then he's like, "I just want to welcome."
You want to include
know,
Call of
Nintendo
Duty and this,
ecosystem.
considering if we're going under the assumption we're gonna get everything.
What about
Yeah,
Final
that's a lot.
Final Fantasy 7 remake or?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that was on the
Yeah.
PS4 for God's sakes.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
definite. Is
Yeah,
it? Will
but-
it be
oh,
at the
yeah,
show?
And Square's been talking about how we want everything to go multi-plat, so it makes no
Yeah.
sense not.
No,
No, I
Maybe
know,
the
but
show.
I just don't know if they would show it at the direct. I mean, yeah, you
Oh,
can.
I think they would.
I mean, I think Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 7 is a good thing to
Fantasy?
show.
Oh, they
Let's
definitely
stick
would.
with
I think-
Nintendo
I think
for
they
a
start
second.
off. I think they start off with the old Final Fantasy VII and they transition it into the newer.
Well, we already have the old ones.
Or
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody's like, "What? We already got Final Fantasy VII."
Let's stick to some Nintendo franchises that we may hope to see or.
I think Square could also show Dragon Quest 12, maybe instead.
Donkey Kong.
Oh.
That would be
That would be.
I'm
yeah.
fine with that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
'Cause that was
Dragon
one of
Quest
the early
12?
Switch game announcements. Was
Dragon Quest 11. So then now
11,
they
yeah,
can be
that's
like,
true.
oh, Dragon Quest 12.
Yeah, I think 12. That's
I think you should just put Square has like a presence, like a genuine, like Final Fantasy plus Dragon Quest type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Octopath Traveler 3.
There could be multiple Square games though, so it's like.
Yeah, well, I guess we should put 2 or more Square games.
Yeah, that's fair. 2 more.
2 or more Square games, like something like that.
So
if you're talking
instead of having
Square,
Final
if you're talking-
Fantasy specific, you want just multiple Square
Well,
games.
actually, you know what? Put 3 or more Square games.
This
You
man
know why I
said
say this?
Fire
Because
Emblem
they
with
could
real-time battle
do a
mechanics.
remake and Rebirth and Dragon Quest, and then they could say like, oh, and we're doing some, Harvestella type of game. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like.
You mean
I
that
think-
game that people didn't? Never mind. Let me that.
Tell me you
But
don't
I'm
play
saying
Fire
that,
Emblem
you know,
without
let
telling
me
me
be
you
that
don't
guy.
play
Let me
Fire
try.
Emblem. Muhammad, tell me you don't play Fire Emblem without telling me you don't play Fire Emblem.
What did he say?
Muhammad.
Oof.
He goes,
real
he's
time.
naming stuff that could be there. New Donkey Kong game, 3D
I
platformer
think you should
developed
add
by
that
Odyssey
as,
team.
New Donkey
Fire
Kong.
Emblem with real-time battle mechanics.
Hey, it did give us
People,
two
I think
characters.
realistically, if we're gonna
Donkey
get
Kong, I think is potentially likely. So I think that's
DK, I think it's.
I think
You think they?
DK 's coming.
Well, here's what. Do you think they put DK Mario?
Okay, I put
out the
new
same
DK
year?
game. Might not be this year, but they're sorry, I couldn't say that.
That was tough.
They're not just gonna show stuff for the rest of this
I
year.
told you
don't
English
think.
is hard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They'll probably show up.
Well, I
for
mean, the
next-
Switch
Oh.
one
Hold
showed.
on, wait a minute. You don't think they'll show off the rest of the, or they will show off the rest of the year?
I'm
'Cause
saying,
I
I
don't know. 2 months later is showcase season, so
You're gonna.
Do you think we?
This-
Ooh,
that's
do you
enough-
think we get anything?
Did they show Odyssey? They showed
Yeah, they
Odyssey.
showed
Yeah.
Odyssey.
They
Yeah.
showed Odyssey.
January
Yeah.
event?
You're
But
gonna
here's the thing,
know.
What I'm saying is they didn't show anything. I don't think they showed anything that came. At least Nintendo didn't show anything that came out after 2017
year,
in that
yeah.
in that initial
Well,
in that initial thing.
No,
They could
well,
announce
Everything else, everything came out
Crafted
that
World,
year.
didn't they show
But it's a
Crafted
They
big
World?
show
game.
Odyssey 2 or whatever it's going to be, and then they announce that the Odyssey team is also working on a new 3D Donkey Kong game. My head would explode. My head would explode.
To be fair though, I think the reason they only talked about 2017 in January is because it was literally January. They had the whole year to talk about.
Right.
Compared to like,
It was
hey,
January.
we're in April already, and now you're talking about like
Especially
the
if
last
the
9
system-
Yeah,
months.
but
And if the system launches in June, you have 6 months to talk about, and then like
They'll be
you know,
talking about 2026 stuff.
What do we know about by the time June happened? By the time,
that's why
The
June.
the reason why,
that's
the
why
reason why I
it's
don't think we'll see 2026 stuff is because we're only in April. Realistically, they have like either June to do something or August or September to do another direct. So it doesn't really seem like.
I think it depends on when the console
Yeah.
comes out and how much they want to hype
Oh,
it up.
yeah, of course.
I'm leaning in May. I'm leaning in May.
All right,
that
so-
way June,
I
Well,
think
Nintendo-
June-
Here's one.
I think it's June at this point.
Nintendo shows a game beyond 2025. You think that would be a good bingo?
I think
That's fine.
yeah,
I think
that's
that
good
one's
one.
good. That's
they
good.
could put that, which I think is it's a lock because I think some third party might show or something. You know, like
No, I want to. I'm
No,
talking
no,
specifically
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Actually, Terrell,
We're talking
remember
about specifically Nintendo. I know third party did. I know third party
Octopath,
did. Yeah, I know third party did. That's why I said
Shimigami
Nintendo.
did. So, or who was that? Atlas.
Shimigami, yeah, Shimigami.
Well,
Somebody
yeah,
brought
even
up-
No More Heroes was past.
You know,
20
Heroes.
Yeah,
Sure.
like
Lenny brought up
Yeah.
Capcom. They'll definitely have some games, but which
Yeah,
the
you
one?
only
mess
one
up
that
this
you
time.
could push is what?
Well, that
they won't F around this time and find out. They're going to be ready.
Capcom's gonna be
Miyamoto
probably.
appeared.
Oh,
Street Fighter
definitely.
6.
If you
Street Fighter
get a new 3D Mario, then you have to get.
I don't know if
Miyamoto.
Miyamoto
Well,
is
'cause
guaranteed.
I think we should write that down because, to be fair, in the last one, it was only for Breath of the Wild he popped up. He didn't pop up for Odyssey.
He didn't
So-
even show up. He didn't show up for the
Which is
original
wild
Switch.
because
How
he has
about
more-
a Numa?
No, he did. He did. He was
Enuma
in the end
appearance.
for Miyamoto was
I don't
for
think
Breath
we're
of the
gonna get a
Wild.
Numa.
I don't think
No,
we're
for
getting
the
Numa
Breath of
because
the
I don't
Wild
think we're getting
pizza.
Zelda.
Oh yeah, I thought it
I
was.
don't think we're
on
getting
Zelda.
Zelda. That's my thing. Not this
Yeah.
year.
No,
I
no
don't
Zelda.
think
I
so
don't think
either.
well, actually, you know what? Right, we
It's
should
too-
write this
it's-
down. Backwards compatibility stuff. Because I think they will show Breath of the Wild or Tears
Well,
of the Kingdom.
unless they mention the double pack for
Ah.
Twilight
But there's already-
Princess.
Shut up. Shut up.
Actually, I think that's a good idea. Backwards.
right?
Well, they've already
what
did
we
that in
were-
the
what-
reveal. They said
No,
backwards
like
compatible.
what we will get
the
with
one
backwards
Twilight Princess
Oh, you're talking
double pack
about-
we've been getting
Will it
for the
be
last.
will it be just backwards compatibility, slide it in, and you're playing the exact same game, no differences, or is
backwards compatibility boost where it boosts
Oh,
and improves the
shit.
game.
I'm gonna say
It's gonna
yes.
be a rare thing if
BCB.
that ever happens.
BCB baby.
BCB. Yeah, there
I don't
you
see
go.
a boost
Yeah.
happening.
BCB.
BCB.
That doesn't feel
BCB.
Nintendo like.
BCB.
You know.
You know
They
what?
took-
Isn't
they
it
took
isn't
out
it
the-
you, T? Isn't
they
it
took
you, T, who said everything is not Nintendo like?
No,
That
they
they
took out. But
go out of the box
these are the
themselves.
guys who took out the gamepad controls, the gamepad touch controls for Breath of the Wild because they want the same experience for everybody. So I don't see it. I don't see it.
BCB.
I think
What
we
Now
should
other
put
companies might
BCB
do it, but I don't see Nintendo doing that.
So what
I think we
about
should at least write it down
60
though.
frames.
You could-
BCB.
what about for Capcom though? What are we?
I don't. I guess you
Super
want to write
Street
something
Fighter
Capcom?
6. Super Street Fighter 6.
Oh. The fight. Unfortunately,
Yeah, Street
Capcom
Fighter
is
6
known.
has gotta be there.
To be
It's gotta
fair,
Street Fighter.
they didn't do. That's more
Super
like it.
Street Fighter 6
I
Ultimate
think you gotta
Alliance
put
Edition.
3 games or more
Ultimate
for
Alliance.
Capcom.
Yep.
It's probably gonna be the Resident Evil ports, Resident Evil remake ports.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna
3
be a lot
plus
of stuff,
games
so
for
I think
Capcom.
Well, I think
3
that's
games
easy. Isn't
more.
that Monster Hunter, Resident Evil,
Monster
and
Hunter Wilds.
Who does Animusha?
It's Capcom.
Capcom.
Street
Oh yeah,
Fighter
then
and
then it's
Resident
gonna be
Evil.
multiple.
Yeah, Onimusha.
Yeah, I
I
think
that game's coming.
Yeah, it would
I
have to
think
be.
that
Not,
be
not to this breakdown thing.
Not to this one. I don't
No,
know.
they can't give all that stuff out.
You're gonna do Monster Hunter, Resident
too
Evil.
much time.
Knowing how they work, it's gonna be a lot of old stuff before you start screaming. Oh my god,
Yeah.
here's all the new stuff we're getting.
What
Yeah.
about
Worlds.
What if Dragon's Dogma?
Actually,
What
you know
about
what
that?
we should do?
Wait. Here's a better
Wild?
question.
Put
How many
new
Nintendo
games
IPs
for
do you think we're getting in 2025? Like how many?
That's-
how many-
that's not for a bingo game, but yeah.
No.
three.
Like you say,
think three.
you say more
I see
three.
three.
I think 3.
In 2025,
Three.
I think that's a good
Look at
healthy
5?
choice.
I'd say
What's the
5
third?
at least.
Mario
Mario Kart.
and then whatever the third new IP.
You
is.
can't-
Wait,
So you
for
think
direct or in general? Because we already have more than 3 for in general.
No. I think we're talking Switch
No.
2.
Yeah, Switch 2 specifically.
Well, can you? It's backwards compatible. You can include Metroid.
No,
I got
no.
4. So I got,
Switch 2.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if Metroid Prime is separate, then
What about
but if
Metroid
it's
Prime
not,
4
then-
cross gen? Being a cross,
Yeah,
not
Ooh,
cross
that's a
gen,
good
but
one.
I don't think we should write that down.
Not
that's a
across-
good
That's
one.
gonna
An
be
answer.
it's gonna
We
be
need an
mixed with
answer.
backwards compatible. I feel like so. I don't know.
Oh, BCB.
VCB.
that's what.
VCB.
That would be the
Backwards
title that
compatible
they
boost.
show BCB with. That and Tears of Kingdom.
What do they call
Yeah.
it?
Actually, also, do we-
Oh,
Oh yeah, tears going to 60 frames or something like that.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
BCB.
But I think what we should do also is
finish it,
how-
man.
we should write new third party game.
Fuck you, T. I'm sick of your shit.
New third party,
I think-
non-exclusive.
Non-exclusive, whatever. Just will
I
there
think
be a
Wild show up.
Oh, you mean just like a new third party
Somebody's
game that hasn't
gonna
been shown yet?
reveal a game
Like a Mario plus rabbits or something.
No,
Yeah.
I think
I
no.
just mean
Like
in general,
Resident Evil
you-
9.
He just means a new
Resident Evil 9.
on every
Like-
system.
We see like a game that
for
just hasn't
everything.
been revealed yet.
What's
Oh,
that?
okay.
Did we
What's
get
that
that
one game
only
that's coming out soon?
Expedition?
No. Something about Souls.
Soul Side.
Oh, fuck me.
Soul
I know
side?
what you're
You talking
talking
about the Soul side?
Solicide.
Lost Soul
Yeah,
Side?
Soul
Soul
Side.
Side. Yeah. That
Lost
would be
Soul
good.
Side.
I think
What
that
do
would
you
be
think
about
pretty
that.
good.
We talking about something we don't know about. That's going to be a multi-plat, but
Yeah.
first announced on Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a brand new
I
game
was thinking good luck with that.
revealed
I was-
on the.
That's what I'm saying. I think we should write that because I don't know if that's very gonna happen.
That's
That'd be
different. That's a-
interesting.
that-
Ooh,
yeah.
I
I
got
think
one.
that's a good
I got
one.
one.
Brand new
I got
third
a
party
mar-
game announced.
I got a
Brand new
far-fetched
third party.
one, but I got one.
Wild
So-
edition.
Silk Song.
I'm not
Wow.
putting
Yeah,
that.
please don't
Crazy.
write
We're
that.
not doing that.
I'm
You
not
should
putting
put
that.
that down.
There's been too
Man,
much
I'm so
trauma.
when we had,
Well, what if
There's
the
been too much
what if the
trauma.
brand new third party game's an indie game? Does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third party.
Okay.
like
So-
I Am Setsuna type.
Like literally, I think there's a good chance that we may
Although
not
that's an
see
exclusive,
anything
ain't
new. It's not from Nintendo. I think there's a good chance. You
Is I
know?
Am Setsuna exclusive?
I think Silk Song will show up.
I'm not sure.
Was it? I don't know. It might have been.
It might still be exclusive.
Is it?
Let's
That was
see.
an
I
early Switch
really
One
don't
game.
remember, to be honest with you. No, it says it's on PS4.
Oh, it's on
and
PS4.
Vita,
Okay.
and Vita.
Do you think
Really?
they'll show the Pro controller?
Yeah.
They put that bitch on Vita. I'm gonna buy
Yeah,
that version.
it
I know
actually
that
came out-
version gonna be
it
expensive as
came out
shit.
on Vita. Look at this. It came out on Vita before the Switch in Japan. I didn't know.
Physical.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna buy that version. That's really gonna be. That's worth the money right there.
Dude, I had no clue. That's so weird.
Do you think they'll show the Pro controller? Would
It
that
is
be?
physical.
Would that be something you
Wow.
think, or is that guaranteed?
What was it?
The
Pro
Pro
controller?
controller?
Yes.
Do we
Did they
see-
show the
yeah,
Pro controller in
yeah,
there
'cause they're
Did
original?
we see
Don't
the
show it
January of it?
Yeah,
I'm sure
we
we
saw it.
did.
We saw it in the October reveal. Remember when they?
Oh,
when
that's
they
true.
were-
We did. So we saw
But
that.
they didn't
in
show it in
October.
the Switch
Into
2
the
reveal.
trailer,
So.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm gonna say yes though. I think that's that. Well, yeah, if you want to write that down, I think that's a decent one to have. That might
Yeah.
be a kind of a gimme, to be honest with you. Depending on if they
Nintendo,
have a.
Nintendo gonna show you their products and their accessories.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
please
think,
buy
yeah,
these.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
They might have
how
a
many do you
balance
have? I
board.
feel like
but
that's a lot.
We need
How many do you
6
have right
more.
now?
Switch 2
You need
balance
6
board.
more? Oh shit.
Switch 2
Um,
balance board? Interesting.
They're gonna do it.
What about
Switch-
GTA?
Oh, wait, the mouse. The mouse.
GTA, yeah, GTA. That's
The
a good
mouse.
What about?
GTA
They're
6
gonna
or
show us
just
how the mouse
GTA?
works. That's not
Oh, it better be
even.
GTA 6.
But a
Somebody-
gimme. But a
You better
gimme.
not show
It-
up to no Switch 2 event with no GTA 5.
Wait, you
It's
talking about?
all-
You think?
Right,
are we-
and
when
there.
you say so? You were
Okay, how about
specifically
Red Dead
talking.
Redemption then? Since we're talking about old games.
Two?
We
Dead
already have Red
Redemption.
Dead Redemption.
I'm at two.
Oh,
Eh,
So Rockstar.
it's not bad.
Rockstar-
It's not
There's
bad.
no, I just don't see that.
I don't know, man.
If you say Rockstar and you see that, you're kind of like,
I
don't
think
know,
we should
bro.
actually say, well, Cyberpunk. I think that's more like of a whoa.
Oh
To
my
be honest.
god!
That's a
I didn't think about
whoa.
none of this shit. Cyberpunk could be on the Switch too, y'all. That's crazy.
He said, I'm yeah.
I think they might. Well, I mean, I think Red Dead would be more favorable, but I think
Yeah, I think people would prefer Red Dead.
I think a lot of people will be like wowed by Cyberpunk on Switch, sort of thing.
Let's put
What's
Red
the
Dead
order?
Redemption 2 or GTA 5.
I would say GTA.
Or GTA 5?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
God damn.
I think.
I
That's
think you should-
crazy.
I
Don't
think
even
you
put
should
it
put
on
Red
there,
Dead or
dog. I don't even
Cyberpunk.
put it on there. What the fuck?
What was the other one?
I wouldn't be surprised by
Cyberpunk. I
Rockstar
think,
doing that
like,
bullshit though.
They would do it. I
They
bet
would.
money they would do that
They
though.
would. They would easily. For the first time
I'm
ever.
putting and
We
or
gotta focus
GTA
on the
5.
mouse, though. We should
Those
write
bitches.
a thing of the mouse. Like, will there be a game based
Oh,
around
a game
the mouse?
associate.
The only-
yeah.
The only problem is you don't want a game that's gonna cover 2 because that's Nintendo's new IP game.
They'll put LA
Yeah.
Noir remastered on there.
You don't want to have
Oh, I
one
get-
thing,
oh.
one announcement cover
Wait, you
2.
already have LA Noir, I think.
Yeah, would
I
say
put Red
remastered.
Dead and or
Oh,
GTA
that's right.
5.
Remastered. That's right.
Well, what
That
about
shit ain't remastered. That's a port.
I think
Who
you
got
gotta
it?
have something with the mouse, though.
They're gonna show it. There's no if ands,
Grim
fans, or
Fandango.
buts.
Yeah, but we gotta do something like we could think of like, will they show it? Will that be the first thing they
Wait,
show?
mouse
Like,
support
it-
for older games. Like you can play Splatoon with the mouse.
or like its placement. Like, you know how we did like the
Placement?
HD Rumble was the
Baldur's
first
Gate
thing
3.
they showed off. You know what I mean?
Start with the
Baldur's Gate-
mouse.
Gate
You're
3
saying
with mouse support.
Start with the mouse. Like the first games that they show starts with the mouse.
That's
that's
It's specific because that's
Yeah, I
that's
don't
the whole idea. This.
I
That's
don't
the
know
whole
how I feel
idea.
about that one. That one.
That's too. That might be too gimmicky.
Exactly, but remember they started it off
Start-
with the HD
yeah. What if
Rumble,
they
the-
start with
the-
Mario Kart 8 trailer? Does that count as starting?
And it fails, then that's it. It's a cut.
You think
then
they're gonna
we don't
start
get
with?
it.
I think that's.
That's a bold.
I mean, it's
It's
say
bold.
that's a waste of.
to be
a
fair, they did.
square.
What did they started with arms, didn't they?
Yeah,
And
it
they-
starts that.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
we could have
so
had
here's
it.
the thing. Here's my thing. My only contention with the mouse thing. Because you're saying versus like HD Rumble. HD Rumble was like this new cool thing that was specific, particular to the Switch. Mouse abilities is not anything
technically,
new.
you can plug a mouse into the PS.
Everything has a mouse.
can't you?
All these
For
control,
sure.
all these systems, you can plug a mouse into them. So
Well, then
I like
That's
Terrell's
the-
idea where it's
if they have something specifically like
I think the
different
backwards compatibility
software.
with the mouse is more interesting.
yeah.
mouse.
Where you-
but they'd have
you-
to
where,
update
like-
games though.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but they're backwards compatible anyway, so it doesn't hurt.
So you're saying
I would
mouse
say- I
controls
would say
for
that-
Switch One games.
Yeah, well, not all, but yeah, certain Switch
Yeah, it doesn't have
games
to be
get
all,
mouse
but I'm
support.
just saying.
Yeah,
Things
we
like
could-
hell,
I
you could do it
think
for Mario Maker too, for God's sakes, if you really wanted
Yeah.
to.
Let's
That
put
was a
it.
good one to do it for.
More cross progression, please. If you can implement that, that'll help the PC guys choose your Switch over, say,
Well, I thought
portable
the best
handheld.
combo was the Switch and PC. I thought that was the combo.
Was until portable PCs started getting more popular.
Well, I saw a.
Now, but if you give us somebody, oh, here's a Nintendo console that you can also use as a portable PC, basically you can progress in your games that you already have.
So pretty much any of the third-party titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't that have to be implemented by like the dev? Because they have games like that already.
No, I'm saying Switch has games like that. Hell,
Yeah.
fucking.
You just mean more.
Witcher 3 has it. I'm just saying, yeah, more.
Oh, I see what
Do
you're saying.
more. Make that a
That's-
bigger thing.
What
That'd be a way to beat down some of these.
why don't we guess
Power
what the
PC
first
or this
game will
portable
be?
PCs.
Like, do we think Mario Kart will be the first?
No, I don't think Mario.
that they
Kart.
that they show.
So yeah. So what do we think? Why don't we have a
So
guess?
if I remember
Just
right,
put
if
a
I remember
lot
correctly,
what the first
in the
game will be.
original Switch event, Arms was the first game they showed, right?
I think it was 1-2 Switch.
What?
Yeah, that's why they did the AC Rumble. That's 1-2 Switch.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
pretty
it
sure.
was 1-2 Switch.
Okay. So 1, 2, God.
Which
Well, you
is a
can't do that.
great.
Well,
to
T's
show off
right. You
first.
can't do that with the mouse. Then yeah, T's right. The mouse wouldn't be used in that way.
Yeah,
so I don't
because it's
think-
not as interesting, you know. It's,
That's an insane thing to show first, though.
So, ooh,
unless there's something we're completely missing about this mouse functionality, which could be the
Yeah.
case. We may completely be missing something that'd be
What-
really cool
but
with
what
the
could
mouse.
you? I mean, it's ooh.
See,
It's a cool concept that you can.
we can
turn
ask
your- I
that
wonder-
question, but for the bingo, you just have to say
Ooh,
whatever
Kid Icarus
game,
Uprising
first
with
game
mouse
shown.
controls.
That'd be hard as
You
fuck.
just have to say Mario Kart 8
Oh.
first or Mario Kart first game shown or 3D Mario first game shown. You can't just have to name the game and it's just a one-off
It's
shot.
a one and done. Yeah, it's a one shot.
I'm
I'm
be
gonna.
mad if that don't happen. Actually, I've seen people talk about that a lot.
I want to
Kid
say.
Icarus
I want
Uprising.
to think the first game would be a new IP. Personally, I think it would be a new IP. Personally,
That's I mean that's a
But
different
if you
Well, I
start-
guess,
discussion.
well, I
If you
just,
start that direct
I just,
with Kid Icarus Uprising 2 or Ultimate or something.
well, I know.
And show the
Didn't
mouse controls.
Sakurai say he's working on a game anyway? From what I
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah, he
which
did.
scares me because every time Sakurai works on a game, it's fucking amazing, and then he never makes
He
it again.
just moves away from it.
It's just like,
does it.
dog, you're fucking with me at this point. Just finish the game. Do another one, please.
Oh man.
What about reviving a dead IP?
well, what's considered dead? A lot of people like to say, "Oh,
Okay.
stuff."
When I say dead IP, it's been gone.
To me, it has to skip a
Metropolis?
generation.
It's been
It has
gone
to skip a
since.
generation.
It's been gone since.
Racer?
Golden Sun?
No, it's been gone since the Wii.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
since
Yes,
the
it's the
Wii.
Wii. Like to me, you have to at least skip a whole generation in order for you to be dead. To me,
So I
Gone
would say.
since the Wii.
I would say it's from the Wii area and back is what's viable.
I'm gonna say no. But if you want to write that down, I mean,
We
I
got
don't think
4
there's gonna be
left, so
some-
let's just
Well, there's
You can
one
only
for
think
Capcom.
maybe like
They can use the mouse controls with my God, what's the
about
what's the
Sin and
Capcom
Punishment?
game from the Wii? That
Okami,
was
that's just
No,
so
no.
specific. I guess
well,
if you wanna-
that'd be great.
Zack
But
and Wiki.
the Zack and Wiki would be
That would
pretty
imply
cool. with
they
mouse
may want to
controls.
make another one of those. Didn't that last
Or
one
they could
didn't
just-
sell well?
No, it didn't sell that great. They can re-up. They can put the Zack and Wiki remastered and then with mouse controls.
Wait, how many more we got left?
4.
4?
What about Metal
Shit.
Gear Solid 3? The whatever they call it.
We
The
want to.
Delta. one?
Delta.
Oh, the
Delta.
Snake Eater.
I mean,
Snake Eater.
that's Konami. You know, I think they could show that.
I hate to say, I think we get Bomberman as well. I'd be surprised if we got.
Bumbleman.
Ooh, Konami titles are more.
Or isn't there a new Contra? Or did I miss?
Was that
my-
Contra? It was
I
a
thought it
Contra
was-
light game. I don't know if there was a Contra.
I don't know if it was.
I think there
officially
is-
Contra.
I think there was one
Yeah,
that
there's
looked.
a new Contra game.
There was a Contra and another one that looked like Contra that looked awesome.
Wait,
But that's
Silent
already
Hill
on
is.
Switch, right? That's
What is
already on
Silent
Switch.
Hill? Who? What?
Konami.
So.
Oh, Silent
Ooh.
Hill,
So-
yeah.
So 2 Konami
yeah,
titles
yeah,
or more.
Yeah, I would say 2 Konami titles or more.
Oh man, I think that's a tougher one.
Either it be Silent Hill.
I think that's a
2,
tougher one.
I think
Um,
Konami wants to play, so I think They would come with 2 titles probably.
Well, they could do. It could literally be 2 titles we're not thinking of. It could be that duck game or whatever they just revealed. That one.
what?
That looks really good actually. The one
Duck
they just
game?
announced at the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I got you.
It's the side scrolling like.
Yeah.
Is it
I
a
missed
duck?
that.
I forget.
I thought it was
what
an
is.
octopus.
Octopus, yeah, an octopus.
That's
know.
very different. Oh, okay, I know that game. I'm like duck.
I think you were thinking of Untitled
From
Goose Game.
What about
Octopus.
EA? EA.
Oh God, I don't want
Presents.
anything. What Battlefield?
I think
Just
maybe they
presents,
might
any-
pop up and not show a game.
Yeah, they're gonna
I think
have.
we should write-
No, I think we'll get
Madden,
EA original. That's
FC.
what we'll probably get.
I'm
We're
gonna put
Well, you might
EA.
get Split Fiction. Oh, Split Fiction. You should put Split Fiction that they might put.
I'm
they
just
might
gonna
have-
put-
Section will definitely be on there.
EA
If
game.
you,
He
not-
essentially confirmed
not
it though. He
soccer.
essentially confirmed it. They
he,
asked him.
already-
He said.
he almost basically confirmed
He
that
said,
game.
he
so.
said. He said. Is it gonna be on Switch too? And he said, it's like you almost got me
He
there. I
almost-
can't.
right. So
What
what
do
does
you
that
mean?
mean?
Yeah, so I'm
He
not
said
gonna.
no if it wasn't on there. So
Yeah,
EA 2+ games.
2+ games. Because the only other
I
game I
hate
can
to do
think
that.
it might do is like FIFA, which not FIFA.
they're bringing
Sports
FIFA.
FC.
They're bringing Madden.
What about Battlefield?
I think they could, but I
What
don't think
about
they'll show it here.
Battlefield?
I mean, hey, man, you know
fucking
what?
ass. Jesus Christ.
If they were smart about it, they
What's
actually
the,
should. They
Well,
really should.
Dragon.
What?
They should show
Veilguard.
Battlefield.
What's it called?
Oh, they're not.
Dragon Age.
I'd be surprised if they showed
Dragon Age. Yeah, Dragon Age.
Dragon Age kind of
Yeah, we forgot about the sizzle
I
reel
think
idea. There
I
could
think
be
they
a lot
do
of
need
games
to
shown.
port it. I think they
Yo,
do
they need to port it. It definitely would help them if
I
they
don't think
ported
it'll be
it.
shown in this.
Well, they fired the director of that game already, or they left, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't still try to
You
salvage.
expect them to get out of this
Yeah,
whole
they'll still
thing.
try to
Make some
salvage
money.
it. But I think
it's a
odds
new
are they'll
RPG
show
and a new
Split
console.
Fiction. I think they'll show Split Fiction but if not show it like it'll be in a sizzle, and then they'll say, or maybe not say, but show like FC 26, whatever it's gonna be, the soccer one. But I think that's in a sizzle. I don't think they'll make EA won't come out and be like, yo,
I know I've heard
what's
some.
up?
I've heard some back and forth for people thinking they're gonna show a Zelda game. I don't think so. I think
Hell no.
No,
Oh, we should
no
put that.
way.
We should put that. Zelda, no Zelda. We should write that
I
down.
feel
Just
like
put
it's
no
more likely
Zelda.
to
Which
not get- I
Which
feel
one?
like
Which
it's-
one? Which one are we on? I'm saying no
We're
Zelda.
gonna get the double pack of Twilight
Shut up.
Princess
Wind
Shut
Waker.
up.
and
Well, but
Wind
that's the
Waker
thing. Is
Twilight
like
Princess double pack.
Do we
Right.
count? Are we counting ports in general, or are we just saying Zelda?
$65.
any
I'm thinking
Zelda,
a new
so-
Zelda.
Any Zelda.
If
new
you
Zelda?
put, I do know.
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying I
definitely.
don't think there'll be a new Zelda. Doesn't mean there won't be
No, I
some
agree.
form of Zelda.
But I think they might show a backwards compatible boost of Breath of the Wild or Tears. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's different. But yeah,
But that's why, hey, they might not. So I think we should put either we're Team Zelda or no Zelda, and that's what we write. Either whichever one, whatever we pick. I'm saying no Zelda. What do you
Either
guys
you're
think?
with us or you're with us.
You're saying no Zelda, but if they show Breath of the Wild, that don't count. Like a no new Zelda.
Then it don't count. That's the whole point of bingo. If you don't get it, you
No,
don't
I'm
get
saying, are you saying no new Zelda
it.
or no Zelda
if,
at all?
If there's Breath of the Wild, then yes, that counts as Zelda. You know what I mean? Just
All right.
some form of Zelda.
Well,
any Zelda at all.
I'm not saying the Breath
Yeah.
of the Wild thing's likely. That's just what they're showing people behind the closed doors.
I know, but I'm not saying but if I think there's a chance they could show that in Tears.
It's probably because that's all they had. It's like, oh, look at this. Remember how bad it was? Frame
Yeah,
rate?
I think
Now
that's
look.
that.
Now look.
Are they gonna
I feel like
show?
that's a good thing to put. Is either we all write
Mhm.
Zelda or we all write no Zelda. So just, what do you think? I'm on Team No Zelda. So you guys.
There,
we
to
might
me,
need
it's a
to say something if
50-50.
there's
So
a
I guess
tie.
to me it doesn't matter. It's 50-50. One or the other doesn't like. I guess if you don't believe
Yeah, but
it's,
that's right.
if you don't believe it
Yeah, but that's what I'm
50-50, then
saying.
that don't. But to me, I think it's a coin flip. So to me, it doesn't matter which one is written down. I think they're both as equally likely.
Well then, but what do you think is 51%?
I don't.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
I think it's dead. I think the odds.
51-49, man.
Maybe it's like 90-10 to some people, but to me it's 50-50.
Well,
so
to be fair, if you're on the T and Terrell, what do you think? Because then you could really change it up.
What is the
Will it
question?
be Zelda or no Zelda?
in any form, is there going to be a
In any
Zelda
form.
shown?
I think that's. I mean, if
think
it's
there's gonna
any
be
form,
Zelda.
then yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
Zelda if it's any form.
What form
What
do you think
likely
that
though?
it
How
gets?
likely?
It's old.
Zelda's-
It's
Zelda's
old.
as popular as it's ever been right now. I think it would get something.
So then it's up to
What
you,
form?
Juice, to either tie it up and ask Sandstorm or break the tie and say yes. You know?
How
So it's up to you.
We'll get Cadence of Hyrule Complete Edition.
That'll fuck up everything.
It's still Zelda.
Yeah.
what about? They didn't mention
I
any.
think we should do that.
No,
Zelda
I
or no
don't think-
Zelda. I think it makes it
Well,
difficult.
we'll come
I think
back
it makes
to
it
that.
difficult. So we should-
I don't know that. I don't feel like they're gonna talk any hardware like specifics, like storage and
Really?
stuff. Do you think they?
Nah.
I mean, storage would be
maybe-
revealed. Storage would be
Maybe
revealed.
storage?
Like RAM, I'm talking, not storage. But,
So during the direct, will they bring up storage?
I mean, they're gonna reveal
They
what
have
the
to.
system comes with. I meant RAM. I said storage. I was thinking
Well, I
RAM,
don't-
not storage.
Oh,
Oh,
no, but I
RAM.
don't. I know, but storage. They don't.
Does
They
Nintendo
They're
don't
gonna
bring
at
it
least.
up.
They're gonna tell you
They
how
didn't bring
many.
it up for Switch.
They're gonna tell you how many gigs it has.
I don't think they will.
Really?
There's a good
Did-
chance
I-
they might not.
They didn't do that
They didn't-
during the
They
Switch.
didn't do it for Switch.
They did.
Nintendo
I
They
must
said
have.
the price. They said the
doesn't do
price
that.
and the date.
They'll put out like, you know,
That might have been
did
afterwards.
they put out a spec sheet or
It might have
something?
been they
later?
did it right
Afterwards,
after.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I
good.
think
Will
that's
they
what
reveal
to
the
focus on.
storage? Yeah, I would just say either way. That's another to me. It's another 50-50. Like
So, well then I'm gonna say no storage, no storage talk.
Really? I think they'll reveal storage.
Bro, what do you think?
because it was kind of a point of contention with some people, that only had 32. I don't know. They did for the OLED, but that was a revision. Let's just say mention. Will they mention
History
storage?
says no, so I don't know. I mean, this could be different though.
I don't.
I'm saying
The problem is we don't really know the mentality going into this, so
Mhm.
we don't know how
This
much
is
of a
this is
priority.
Furukawa's Switch. I think
These are bad bingo questions. We got something a little less like. I guess. I mean, it's not the worst.
No,
but
these are good bingo questions. That's what's good. They're like super off the wall.
Wild
Sandstorm,
Sandstorm.
I feel like we're being
Will
too- I feel
they
like we're being
will they
too
reveal
technical.
the storage?
You're
When
asking
they
me
reveal
what
the
I-
specs.
Do you think they'll reveal the storage in the direct?
I think
No.
So he
No.
says no.
So no,
Robert
it's
says
too
no.
close.
T and
I think that would be. I think it would be disrespectful if they didn't.
So you say yes.
I,
it was-
ooh,
That's
Jesus Christ.
disrespectful.
Oh boy.
Wait. Let me backtrack. I don't think. Maybe.
during the direct.
I'm actually. This is why. Because I think they will also tell you about expandable storage with the system too.
Yeah, I think they're gonna talk cart sizes too.
You think they're gonna talk
That's-
cart sizes? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Yeah,
go
I
to
think
that
they'll
one.
have a little graphic up and say this is the capacity for Switch games, and this is the difference with Switch 2. You get 48 gigs or something.
I can see them talking about the
Still,
design
I
difference.
think
can
that's
see-
Some
you're right.
developers would like to know also.
well, technically, they
sounds
should
like-
already know. To
sounds
be
like-
fair,
Yeah, but
Sounds like you should write. They
Potential
will
got-
show storage.
Yeah.
not everybody's
I-
on.
I would
Nintendo-
say specs. I would say
I
show
think-
specs.
I'm gonna
I
say
think-
reveals
I don't see
storage
specs.
size.
I think storage. Yeah, I think storage size, especially with expandable.
But now we can
storage.
go back to the Zelda.
During
'cause
the
Sandstorm
direct.
still- Sandstorm, will they show Zelda or no Zelda?
Will
Man,
it be
I
a
heard,
double back?
I heard y'all all the way from the kitchen going back and forth about whether it's gonna happen or not in 50-50. So in any capacity,
Any capacity. So Breath of the Wild backwards compatible if they really want to.
yeah, I think that's gonna happen. Now.
What if it's just?
we're-
What if it's here's Switch? What if they do another here's Switch 1, here's Switch 2, and running on the
And-
Switch is Breath of the Wild just for 2
It's
seconds?
Breath of the Wild. That's how they show it. That's
yeah,
showing the
that,
backwards compatible.
in that capacity,
That
I would say
counts.
I think it's very high. But if you're talking about like
A game announcement related.
yeah, or even I'll even go further. Even if it's like a Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 version, if that's what you want to call it, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think.
But again, that's what I'm saying. So it's either
What if it's
I
think
virtual
it probably-
console? What if they're showing Switch Online and just like in the background off to the side, there's just a Legend of Zelda.
I don't think that
Yeah,
all right, well,
art.
we could say Zelda non Switch Online, everything else, like we're
Okay.
talking modern,
I
like
think
like
the
we're talking
only-
backwards compatibility, backwards
To be-
compatible to new games.
To be clear, I think the only way that Zelda does show up is in BCB. That's it. I don't
I
think.
agree. I do think so, but I think it's not happening though.
That's new terminology now.
It's
BCB.
Absolutely,
we
absolutely.
coining it. We
BCB,
coining it
baby.
on the Jill
BCB,
podcast.
baby.
BCB.
BCB, baby.
We'll say Zelda appearance.
Wait, so you put Zelda? Like you put
The
yes,
Legend of
Zelda
Zelda appearance, not Switch Online
Not
doesn't
Switch
count.
Online. Not Switch Online. All right, then. Hey, then it's written down.
Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening
Outside.
remastered. No bad frame rate edition.
Wow.
Actually, I noticed it way more in Echoes of Wisdom. I barely noticed it in Link's Awakening. Obviously, Echoes has
Really?
got more going on screen with
Yeah.
all the your echoes you throw out and stuff. And
How
if,
about
okay, we got it.
where's what?
So now I got a couple
Oh.
weeks. I gotta
Oh, that was it.
find a way to fairly have everybody's
Wait, so
bingo
say all
card
of
be
them.
all the same ones, but just in different places, and make sure there isn't like gimmies all in a line. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
say.
Okay, we got new
Go
3D
with-
Mario game, a new Nintendo IP, Monolith's next game, a new Donkey Kong game, Doom: The Dark Ages, shown, third-party exclusive, Switch 2, Elden Ring, whether it's the Elden Ring, Nightbringer, or whatever.
Third party exclusive. We said it. I thought it was
Third-party
I thought it was-
exclusive.
What about the? Oh, is that different from third party just revealed?
Yeah, this is a third-party exclusive.
Oh, okay. I don't.
But
remember.
actually, that
Alright.
would be a brand new game. But I think
That's
we
the
were
same thing, technically.
yeah, that is. But the other brand new third party wasn't necessarily exclusive, so we might have to.
Yeah, Niv's
So a third party
Like the thing
Switch
that-
2 exclusive. Final Fantasy 7 remake. I didn't alter that one.
That's just Square 3 games or more.
Let's
right?
do Square 3 or more. I didn't write over that. That seems pretty like it. Nintendo games. Beyond Nintendo first party game Beyond 2025. Backwards compatibility boost mode.
BCB?
Capcom 3+ games. Now we'll have to add one because I had brand new third party game, which also is this
Gotcha.
exclusive because it'd be revealed.
Yeah.
Or we could say non-exclusive. It doesn't count if it's. That'd be two. That would be just a third party revealing their new game, whether it's a multi-plat. During
I mean,
this
yeah, if you want
direct.
to put that. So essentially, we're
I think
saying
that still
two
works.
new third-party games. So an exclusive one and a non-exclusive one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The Switch 2 Pro controller. That seems pretty likely.
Mhm.
Should it be detailed, not just shown, but like detailed?
No, I think you just show it.
Just shown?
No, just shown. Yeah.
So I didn't. This is what I went with: Red Dead Redemption 2 and/or GTA 5. Mouse controls work for Switch 1 games.
That'll be interesting.
Konami 2+ games. EA. I think we should change EA to 3.
3. What would be the 3 games?
That's wow. EA really trying to
'Cause
go
it'd
hard
be,
this time. Huh?
Split Fiction, Madden,
Split Fiction.
College Game
Even-
Day, the football one. I'm going
I guess
3.
they could
This
show-
man said game day.
To me, it'd be like Madden,
I
Soccer,
don't
and
know.
Split Fiction.
I don't know about
Right.
college football unless they're talking about the one that's coming out in fall because
Yeah.
this one's way.
Well, that's
too
the one
The
that would
system be
be
coming out in Madden.
I think we can still do two games for EA. I don't have as much faith from them.
I'm doing 3.
I
Dude,
say
they're all,
3.
we ain't getting that one anymore.
Reveal storage size during direct.
Mm.
Zelda appearance. Switch Online doesn't count. Phil Spencer appearance. DLSS mentioned either on screen text or verbally. 4K verbally or on screen. And then built in voice chat. And then Call of Duty Switch.
Damn. Phil Spencer show up. Imagine the pony clownage.
Oh my god.
Clown so hard. The Xbox fans is just get ready, bro.
That'd be so bad.
I think it's gonna be.
It'll
Hey,
be a rough week.
we're bringing more games to the Switch with the Switch 2. Like you're gonna get, whatever that rhythm kind of style game
big old
is.
headshot. Hello, Nintendo fans. I'm Microsoft. Blah blah blah. Phil
Yeah.
Spencer.
So yeah, I'll have those made up, and everybody can keep track during their reactions.
Console wars is over. Nintendo won, motherfuckers.
Right.
Was it you guys?
You
Somebody
probably-
shared that people were. Was that the today where somebody was saying like they still don't count Nintendo?
OJ.
Was
yeah.
that? I think in the chat somebody I thought it was in the chat this morning. Maybe it was yesterday. Was like they still don't count Nintendo. Like they're still saying maybe it wasn't in the chat. Maybe it was somewhere else. But like
I saw something with Peter Moore.
like someone was saying, well, the competition's over, but this generation.
Yeah, it was
People are like,
Peter Moore.
what about the fucking Switch?
Yeah.
And I think IGN or somebody made an article, and it was like didn't even count the Switch at all. Like
It's like, what the fuck? Nintendo just completely disrespected all time.
it's
It's like-
completely dominating this generation. It's not even.
right, not even close.
Right.
They
They
have
ready to double up on motherfuckers.
They have multiple games that have sold more copies than series consoles have sold. Like that's
and
crazy.
franchise combined in one console from other guys.
Well, I'll say this, Juice, to make it easier for yourself. If you go on, just Google for bingo generator. There's a bunch of websites that you can just generate like a bunch of.
Just like
Just type it in it. Just type it in it, and it'll make
oh,
it.
okay. Or I could just do the numbers that they're attached to, just if that's easier, and then I just look at the number and I'll write in. I want to do like actually.
How do they get away with it? How did these fuckers get away with it?
Hmm.
With Nintendo being as big as they are, catering to everybody, how
Because
do
the
they
hate's been
continue to get away with
normalized.
this shit?
You know,
Disrespect's been normalized.
who was I listening to? And they're just like, it might have been Digital Foundry or something. It was like somebody just said it like it was absolute fact. Oh, the Switch, it just appeals to younger gamers and children. Like,
We're
you think
back to the Wii fuckery again.
you think that
Yeah.
you don't
This
think
is
that
Wii- this is
a
Wii
bunch of
territory.
adults have like millions, tens of 100 million
People
adults
talking
have
shit
the
about it
fucking
own
Switch.
the console. That's the crazy part.
Like it's
That's what I don't understand.
And they all have one.
We're
yeah,
back
they
in
all
the
have a
Wii era.
Switch.
This is literally Tino's back in the Wii era. They stopped including Nintendo in the conversation because they couldn't talk shit because it sold too
Right.
well.
It's kicking
So they're
the
like,
ass.
oh the Wii. I bet you the Wii U was part of that
Wii is
generation.
It's its own thing. It's in its own.
Yeah, that's literally what they would do.
It's-
They would
it's video
section
games?
it off.
Okay.
You would section it off to be like, what?
Oh, they counted the Wii U though in the 8th gen. The Wii
Yeah,
U.
Because
They
I want you to
already-
understand something.
They only talk
Yeah.
about
I want you to
when they're
understand
down.
something. There was
Yep.
genuine grievances with the Wii, but it sold so well that people couldn't talk shit. So when the Wii
Yeah.
U started failing, everything came out
There we go. Oh,
about the Wii, about the Wii U, about Nintendo, Iwata. It was a whole field
the
day.
Wii.
They
All
love
that shit
you,
built on
nigga.
the Wii. They released that shit on Wii U, bro.
And I feel like
Yeah.
the same thing's gonna happen with Switch. Like if the Switch 2 doesn't come out selling well, it's gonna be like, oh, see, the Nintendo Switch was actually trash. I don't give a fuck
Not as
about
good as
what they were saying.
PS5. Not as
The
good
way they
as
sold
PS5
all
and Xbox
heck
One.
is bad.
It sold
Imagine,
1 million less than the Switch at this point.
imagine if the Switch 2 games, third-party games, run better than like the Steam Deck and maybe not the brand new ROG Ally Pro or whatever, but
Mm.
they're just gonna be waiting for that Steam Deck 2 so they could, say the Switch
This-
2's trash
They're
again.
gonna- literally, the conversation verbatim is going to be, do you see how this game runs on the Switch 2? Imagine
Yeah.
how much greater it's going to run on the Steam Deck 2 or the ROG Ally 2. Like, bro, what are we doing here?
Well, that guy I
Well,
work
well,
with,
well,
What are we doing
This
here?
is why.
Why-
This is why. Well, I think we had this conversation before, but like that's why people said there was an inherent Nintendo bias in the industry because shit like this kept happening, and people were like, "No, we don't have any issues with Nintendo."
love Nintendo.
I think people have issues with Nintendo.
We love Wii U.
well, the guy I work
They
with,
just-
that PC
they
gamer
just
guy,
can't.
he's like, "There's no. How's the Switch 2 gonna compete? You got the Steam Deck, you got the other portables. Well, I forget what.
Somebody needs to tell him. Combined, they sold like 7 million units.
Yeah, combined.
So
With,
RG Ally,
with Steam
that's
Deck winning.
Steam
I
Deck,
thought I saw
all of
like
them.
5, but either way, they were trying. Somebody did like estimated based on. It
Well, I
shows
saw-
when you played a game on.
Yeah.
I saw 6 to 8. is what I
Yeah,
saw. So I
it's-
saw
Actually,
third
yeah,
and
the
middle
Steam Deck
instead
was
of-
about 3, and then the others they said was like that about that. So right around whatever. They don't have no one has exact numbers. They were
No,
going
Steam
off
Deck was 4.
The point
profiles
is,
or
it
whatever.
wasn't like crazy.
It was
And-
the
yeah.
point
It's
is
really
it-
good. It's
point
very
is,
good.
It was a
for-
nice
Wii
effort.
U.
It was definitely.
It's not even. It
Wii
won't
U
not even
number.
a drop in the bucket for the Nintendo.
It, it is very good for a niche, like
Yeah,
not
Especially
exactly.
how, how expensive they are.
Exactly.
And the price, like, take the win for that. But you know, it's not.
It's not-
It was never going to outsell the Switch
because people
or,
want to change the
or any
narrative
console
without.
for that point.
I keep
Exactly.
having to say like, dude, if a third party makes a game on Switch 2, the Switch 2 doesn't have to be more powerful for it to actually run better than. Yeah, they do Steam Deck verified now, but not every game's gonna be well optimized. Like Hellblade 2 and Returnal are two games I can think of that I know at
It's still a
launch
PC.
they weren't very good, like, and they might not even be now. So they're going to be optimized better, and it might not be as powerful, like raw spec wise, but the games might actually look and run better, like because they're making the game specifically for that one hardware. And it's,
Well, that's the same thing.
and they don't have to worry about Windows
Steam Deck.
and all that. Hogging up a lot of their operating
resources and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be efficient and.
But at the end of the day, it's always going to be optimization because games come out and run like shit on consoles too.
Yeah.
Like it happens all the time. So at the end of the day, it's up to the developers to make this shit run right if they
Right.
want to put
But
the work in. Like
I've
this shit.
seen
They can't
comments and it's
pretend
always
this
like
time.
that.
I don't think they can pretend.
Right.
I've always seen comments like that where it's like, I remember sharing in chat a little bit ago where it's like, oh man, the Switch only so well because it's it's this and that, right? As if it's like a negative. But then if the Wii U, is man, the Wii U didn't sell because of this is that, which is like
Right.
the same thing.
It's the same.
And I'm like,
The Wii U didn't sell for the same reasons the Switch sold.
It is
Right.
selling.
Kids.
Huh? That is a-
It's
Where's
like
the
what?
logic
Wait
in
a
that?
minute.
The games
Come
weren't
on, man.
there. They didn't have any games. They didn't have any
It's
games.
kids for babies. Okay.
Yeah.
Mario. There was no real Mario game.
That's why I don't get it. Like people say that, and then, but like Charles said, they themselves own a Switch. They're adding to
Mhm.
the total. Like,
Yeah,
dude, you
the same
have
people
this-
writing these articles are
Was it-
motherfuckers that have a Switch.
Sandstorm, was it
Right.
like Nintendo Prime who was talking about that the Sony Microsoft article? Because I know I read it this morning.
Yeah.
It was somebody who
Yeah,
there was
it was-
replies, a bunch of replies from.
And truthfully,
Yeah.
it'll be like let's say it's a podcast of like us, right? 5 adults and dudes, and like, oh well, this thing's for kids or whatever. And every single adult has it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
All these
But that's
podcasts, we
fine,
also
though.
have
No,
Switch. It's like, what are you
how
talking
many
about?
kids you talking to?
funny.
It's a little sus. It's a little weird. Why are you talking to kids? How do you know about that? It's a little weird. So it's like, what are you talking
It's
about?
so
Come on.
strange. It is
It's funny.
strange.
And ironic because even when the system first came out, I was like, this is the system for adults. Like if you have a baby, and I said this in the other video, if you had a baby, you know how you play video games with the baby. You got the baby all tucked under you.
Right here.
The control, you know what I'm saying? Like doing one of these, got the bottle. But it's just so much easier with having the whole system in your hand, just right there. And I'm like, yeah, this is for adults. For those people who got like
Mhm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, and you can't have your own dedicated room or even a TV to play.
Yeah.
Like
You're
this
laying
was-
on your back, the baby's on your chest, and you holding this shit over your head.
T, how old were your kids when the Switch came out?
My kids were, my kids were, what 2012? That 2 and 3, so they were pretty big.
Yeah,
But-
my daughter was
Still
3
though,
and
I mean they're
7.
almost
3 and
teenagers
7.
now.
And if
Yeah,
you
my
remember
son's
when
14.
when the Switch was advertising to like parents like that, they did that. They
Yeah.
actually did have commercials based
Mhm.
around that.
And who cares? It doesn't matter.
People
It's
ignore
still
that, they forget, and
dominating
they-
the.
Actually, no,
And
let's take that back. My daughter was a baby, so I remember doing that.
Yeah,
And isn't that ironic?
With the Wii U, just holding that shit over my head like this and have my
Isn't
daughter
that
on my
a-
chest.
Isn't that ironic? At the beginning of its life cycle, people were like, "Oh, finally they show off games for adults. Oh, finally they got
Mhm.
adults in all these commercials." And then at the end, they're like, Oh well, it's just all these kids. All these kids are just playing.
Yeah,
it,
and it's like, so you don't get to, and I always say, like, you don't get to be the biggest thing in the world by only getting one audience. That's
Mhm.
impossible. It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
There's also
Like,
probably a
it's
lot of female. I think
people say the
Nintendo
same
had
shit
numbers.
about, like, yeah, well, that people say the same shit about, you know, like
Tons.
Toy Story 4, right? It's like it ain't hitting $1 billion off of just kids. It's impossible. It
Right.
doesn't-
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
literally actually impossible. You know, it's like it again when you appeal to a broad range of people. That's just called, you know, more money, more like to act like that's like a bad thing or like
And
as
when-
if it's like not
Yeah,
really
acting like it's a bad thing, that's just called
You know?
cope.
It doesn't matter
Just
the
coping.
reason. The
Bro,
you know,
it's
I guess we
creative and talented to be able to have so many genres that literally someone who's 5 years old could play and 95 years old could play. Like that's impressive. That's not a bad thing. That's impressive as fuck.
Yeah, and
You know,
Muhammad, there was a lot of Twinkie Winky stuff on Wii U that didn't sell. So cut the cap. Just stop the cap.
PlayStation 2 had a lot of tinky winky stuff. PlayStation 1 had a
Right.
lot. Still sold.
I'm pretty sure I don't remember them censoring any of the Bayonetta 3 stuff. Did they censor any of the Bayonetta 3 stuff?
No.
Because
Please
I'm
don't.
pretty sure.
Well, technically,
pretty sure.
I think it's a little bit compared to 2. They've a little more restrained in some areas, I think.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
As
it
far
depends-
as-
I'm pretty
it
sure
depends on how
Stella
you look
Bunn
at it.
got pulled for its censorship
What did?
before it got brought back. Stella Buns, or I'm sorry, Stella Blade.
Stellar puns. It was 98 hot
I
about
don't know.
that shit, boy.
All right.
Well,
Well,
I mean, we even know that the Switch in general, they don't like censor things in general, like at this point. But it's
Yeah,
just,
Switch had they might want to
And-
start censoring some shit. God damn.
And I always-
they allow on the Switch, bro. Woo.
You know what I
My
always
God.
what drives me crazy is that Nintendo put out the age demographics of what the average age was, which was older. It did skew to like 18 to 20 something or something like that. But people ignore that and say, well, no, it's because they created account. Oh yeah, you think 150 million people created accounts? Kids, they all created accounts to make themselves a higher age. Every single one. Come on, man.
Especially on the
Come on.
console, they didn't have
You
any
think-
mature
you
games.
think- Yeah.
I need
But
this
it's like,
mature
well,
game.
I don't get it's like
What
like,
games you
I mean,
playing that you need to up your age on Fortnite?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm like, yeah, that too. But it's also like, what I mean, like, you can't trust Nintendo's own stats. Like, why should I trust
Let's
you?
not
over
like
Nintendo's
Fortnite
own stats?
and Minecraft and all that shit ain't popular on the other console. That shit's super popular
Yeah.
on every goddamn console. So shut that bullshit up,
Yeah.
please.
I was gonna say the
Exactly.
Switch has the tinky winky games like Minecraft and Grounded, and I think that's the only 2 I could think.
You're not a million sellers.
Oh,
That Tiki Winky
Right
and
out here
Microsoft
selling Cuphead.
Thieves,
got
Tiki Winky and
Cuphead
shit.
and
They're cracking his lagging.
Ori,
The
tinky winky
Kraken
shit.
is lacking it.
But anyway, this was a good idea because this definitely generated a lot of discussion. The bingo thing. But yeah, we better get out of here. I know it doesn't feel like 9:22 yet because our bodies haven't
geez.
adjusted, but yeah, this was fun. We got 2 more podcasts before the week of the direct, which I don't think
Yes.
we'll do one on the Monday before. I think we'll just do it right after if everybody can make it. Terrell, hopefully you get that day off.
Yeah, I got the day off.
Okay.
We're good.
So even if you don't want to do a reaction live, we'd definitely do like a direct or a
No,
podcast
I'm doing a
afterward.
reaction live. I'll just be in the call with you guys.
Yep. And then for those that like Robert, if you still want to do your own, then just come on right after. We'll do as soon as you can. We'll do a podcast. Maybe give it like a half hour to think about, gather our thoughts and all that.
He's gonna have to clean up all the juices that he's gonna leave on the floor out of excitement.
Well, I mean,
Oh my-
you know, we'll see. Because tech, like it, you know, it can make it a. I guess I would have my camera, but then you still have a group reaction or whatever.
But yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
it's
you
getting
can
close.
record yourself and be on the
Yeah.
thing. at the same
Which is,
time.
I'm assuming that's
Sounds
what Terrell's
amazing.
doing. That's what you're saying.
Technology.
I'm just doing a group reaction. I'm gonna just have y'all in the background with y'all.
Right,
I'm
that's
just
all you
gonna-
got to do.
Yeah.
All right. So
Robert's like, I want it to be me. I want to have a solo session. I want.
It's all about
take
me.
a show halfway through it. That's what I want.
me. All right, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
me.
Bye bye.